Welcome to the Ringer Fantasy Football Show. My name is Danny Heifetz, and I'm joined by Danny Kelly and Craig Horlbeck, and we are going through all the games from Week 14 of the NFL season, aka the end of the fantasy football regular season. And yeah, the Chiefs just finished a really pathetic Sunday Night Football game, which we're going to get to in a moment. And winners, losers, burn book, and some people that Justin Jefferson couldn't outscore this week, including Hunter Yurachek.
Right, who may or may not be an NFL player. With that said, we have a great show for everybody tonight. Stick around. Fitz and the Tantrums are here. We'll be right back.
This episode is presented by Chime. Bank smarter this season. Fantasy football is all about strategy. Well, here's a winning strategy for your money. Trade banking fees for fee-free banking, 1.5% cash back, getting paid when you say, and a higher APY on your savings. That's the lineup that wins. Stop banking the old way. Bank smarter through Chime. Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and the secured Chime Visa credit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. members FDIC. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. Details at chime.com/fees info. With a qualifying direct deposit, earn 1.5% cash back on eligible secured Chime Visa credit card purchases. APY means annual percentage yield. Learn more at chime.com. We're going to go through all the games from Week 14, winners, losers, everything. But first, we have to start Sunday Night Football. The Texans just beat the Chiefs 20-10. That was really sad at the end. DK, where are you at right now? Do you feel like that obviously feels like the end of the Chiefs season? Did it feel to you like the end of the Chiefs this season, or did it feel to you like that was the end of something bigger, maybe?
I mean, yeah, you have to ask the question, is that sort of the end of this dynasty they've been dominating for so long? And they're just not very good anymore. I mean, and especially, I think Collinsworth even said it at the end of the game. It was the star people of this franchise that were making all the mistakes. It was Mahomes. It was Kelsey just bobbling that pass right into the defense's hands. It was Andy Reid making the most bizarre fourth down call I've seen in a really long time, which I think we should dig into. I think they just gave this game away. Like, they probably should have won this game. Their defense was absolutely dominating. But I think just a handful of plays really just doomed them in this one.
10 points for the Chiefs, I think, is the fewest they've had in a Mahomes start at home in his entire career. And then obviously the Chiefs, the 10 years in a row of making the playoffs, and then that's down the drain. I don't know. Watching this, do you feel like the Texans are dominant? Obviously the defense is dominant, but this did feel like Kansas City repeatedly could not get out of their own way.
I'm so upset with the Chiefs, man. They ruined my night. They ruined my whole day. I needed just a normal day out of Patrick Mahomes.
ruined.
Just wanted 200 yards and a touchdown, normal stuff. And it wasn't Mahomes' fault. Rashee Rice, some of the worst drops I've ever seen on that fourth down at the end of the game, right through his hands. Kelsey, 2 drops in a row. Tyquan Thornton dropped that beautiful deep ball by Mahomes in the end zone. No one's going to remember that play, but that was a dot that he dropped. It was embarrassing. Has Xavier Worthy ever done anything cool after the catch?
Him from this game.
Yeah. Has he ever done anything memorable after the catch, Xavier Worthy? I say no. And now Travis Kelce's best play now is like flag baiting. That's like all he can bring to the team now is flag baiting. So I don't think it's Mahomes at all, because I actually thought, and the offensive line had guys I'd never heard of playing for them because they're losing tackles left and right. They were generating so much pressure. The poor guy was always having his knee was clearly hurt. He still scrambled for 50 yards. He's so underratedly powerful. Mahomes can still break tackles and just shake dudes off in a way that I feel like you don't really think of when you think about him running. But man, that was the most frustrating Chiefs game, I think. Outside of the Super Bowl, the most recent Super Bowl, this is the most frustrating Chiefs game I can remember.
It felt like toward the end of the Patriots Brady years when they couldn't move the ball even when the defense was playing fine. I don't know. I totally agree with you on Mahomes. I thought Mahomes was unbelievable tonight. And trying to truck Azeez Al-Shaair, the Texans linebacker, he was putting himself, he was making throws. I give credit to the Texans defense, who's unbelievable at every level. I think the Rashee Rice drop on fourth down is directly related to Rashee Rice taking one of the harder hits I think you've seen.
He was definitely
season.
Probably concussed. They didn't even check him.
That's a theme of the entire day we'll have to get to at some point. Is I don't know what the concussion
marks.
I don't know what the concussion spotters do. I don't know what I think part of it's 70-year-old men that get good tickets, and it's you actually could just watch the game on TV. You'd be better at your job. But I want to go into, in particular, the decision the Chiefs made at the end of this game. And if you didn't watch, I actually think it was one of the weirder coaching decisions from a good coach in years, and one of the worst decisions Andy Reid's made coaching with clock management in years, which hasn't been a thing from since like 2019. But DK, so the Chiefs were down 7 points, 17-10. There was like, I believe, 5.5 minutes on the clock. They have 4th and 1 at their own 31-yard line. And they go for a 4th and 1, which is really like a 4th and 2. How did you feel before they ran the play, which always poisons your... What did you think of it before they ran the play?
Hold on, because I think there was 2 different 4th down plays that we're talking about here.
It's the first one.
So the first one, it was 10-10. It was a tie ball game.
Right, you're
Correct.
right. Sorry.
There was 10 minutes to go in the game. They were on their own 31-yard line. And I think, so to me, this is like the perfect encapsulation. This is the perfect example of the analytics versus human beings making decisions and all that stuff, because actually the analytics, according to, I saw this from Seth Walder on ESPN, mentioned this, the analytics was like a slight go in that situation, which I think is insane in the first place, but regardless. And then also Tirico, I think, mentioned it on it too, on the broadcast too, that it was like, according to their analytics, it was a like slight go situation where they should go for it in that situation. However, to me, it's like, take everything else that's happening in the game. The Texans cannot complete a pass.
They have like -2 yards in the third quarter.
Do anything.
Yeah.
I think Stroud was 0 for 8 or 0 for 10 at that point in the second half. Chiefs were absolutely dominating on defense. The Texans literally could not do anything on offense. It was like 4 straight 3-and-outs to that point. I don't understand why Reid felt the need to go for it in that situation, considering how much your defense is absolutely dominating. He basically gave them points in that situation.
The Texans, I'm pretty sure like every time the Texans had the ball in the fourth quarter was in enemy territory. Like because of the Chiefs'
because of the fourth
decisions.
downs. Yes.
The Texans didn't even really have to do that much to win this game, because every time Stroud got the ball in the fourth quarter, he was already on like the Chiefs' 35-yard line.
Yeah. So to me, this is the perfect example of, you can look at your models and you can use that as a guideline, but this is ultimately why human beings making decisions in the situation is so important.
I'm anti-AI.
I'm usually like pro go for it, like be aggressive, all that. The Boomers won tonight. They should have punted in that fucking situation. 100% should have punted.
Everyone's going to be like, the analytics. The analytics don't make the decision. The head coach makes the decision. This was Andy Reid's fault. Like, let me tell you something. It's not like Andy Reid they're like, hey, Andy, the math says go for it. Andy Reid was like, oh, shucks. Oh, geez, I guess I have to. That's not how it works. The head coach's job is to hear the percentage chance and then change it and tweak it to his thing. Let me tell you what happened. Andy Reid was tilting. That's what happened. And I want to see otherwise, but you can't convince me otherwise, because especially like the play they ran was incredible. In poker, there's a term called tilting, which is when you lose a big hand or something crazy happens to you, you lose a lot of money, you get a bad beat, and you are very emotional. And the next hand or two, you make way worse, and you are just basically crash out, and you're making very emotional decisions instead of like, analytical decisions as they should be. That was what happened.
I just joined a Japanese horse racing fantasy league now that I'm kicked out of the Ringer League. Is that tilting?
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. No, I mean, that's super normal. That happens all the time. But I'm telling you, I just think Andy Reid was so frustrated. I think it was years. I think that moment was the culmination of either drives of frustration or years of frustration with this offense not working. I don't know where you want to draw the line, but that was... it's hard for me to not think that felt like it was the entire sense that this could be ending of Andy. Frankly, it was this guy being like, we haven't not made the playoffs since 2014. And he was just angry and he just kind of crashed out. And it wasn't that different to me than someone rage quitting in Madden to make that decision there. You cannot tell me that Andy Reid, deep down in his souls, is happy he went for it on 4th and 1 at his own 31. I'd be curious if there's anything else in his entire coaching catalog like that moment. In a tie game when your defense is playing like that.
It's just bizarre to me, especially in a game like you mentioned earlier, where you're down 4 starting offensive linemen against a really good defense.
It's not like Mahomes. It's not like they're playing great. It's not like, it's Mahomes. They can get this in their sleep. Like they couldn't move the ball. Punt it.
It was a long one, which is another thing the analytics doesn't get into. Like 4th and 1, it's funny you don't think about it, but so 4th and 1 can be 8 inches or 50 can kind of both be 4th and 1. And that was closer to like 1.5 yards.
It was like 5
10
feet.
inches.
Yes.
And again, this is the team that doesn't quarterback sneak. But again, I think that's the point to me is I think Andy Reid just kind of broke character for a little bit. He's a really smart guy, and but like that was the emotions of this run overcoming them. And I know, maybe I'm out over my skis here. They had a great play, but also his genius play had an orbit motion where one of the defensive tackles was so late getting subbed, he slipped and fell. The nose tackle on 4th and 1 fell flat on his face. And then they couldn't even snap the ball because they had emotion attached to it. And I'm like, oh my God. But I think that encapsulated the whole thing. To your point, Kelsey bobbling a ball, which again has been a problem since week 1.
Right.
It's over. It's over for Travis.
Great.
He had a great run. He's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best tight ends ever. That's it. You know what? I'm glad the Chiefs are not going to be in the playoffs. I'm happy to take a year off. They can retool, draft a second-round wide receiver and a first-round lineman, come back next year firing. I'm okay with not having to watch this year.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm the same.
DK, I lean toward things don't end well, or else they wouldn't be ending, and that's how I feel about this Chiefs team.
I don't think it's ending.
Well, it's not ending
because they still have Mahomes.
Ebbing.
They still have Reed. It's just they're not
ebbing.
Dominant like every fucking year.
Ebbing
for the last
is fair.
10 years.
It's lying fallow. And again,
what
the
do you
defense
think
played great, and they're young.
Even if they don't make the playoffs, I bet you their Super Bowl odds next year will still be top 4, top 5.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think the key here is that Mahomes, even with a goddamn knee brace, was unbelievable tonight. I do have serious questions about this offensive situation because I think I think it's very similar to this is how Andy Reid's tenure with the Eagles ended. And again, I don't want to draw too many conclusions because in theory, I guess they could still make the playoffs. And this is the best defense in the NFL. Yeah. And if anything, it was kind of shocking how good this third string left tackle played against Danielle Hunter. That was almost like weird how well he held up. But it's probably better to have new blood. Like I think we're all tired of this team.
What this guarantees is like we won't have an Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl, which is great.
Yes. And now we do have to give credit to the Texans because the Texans,
they're awesome.
Well, I was going to say that too. I love watching the Texans now. The offense, not so much. But the defense is so fun to watch. I mean, this reminds me, and again, I know like every time I mention the Seahawks, people probably groan, but it's like it reminds me of prime LOB Seahawks. They're just like the Petre hit on Rashee Rice was incredible. They've got an incredible secondary, Kamari Lassiter, Stingley, Kalen Bullock. Like all these guys are just flying around. Their linebackers are just like prowling over the middle of the field and hitting guys hard. Like their defensive front is really good at the pass rush, all that stuff. They're so fun to watch defensively. Now, if only they could just do anything on offense.
Dude, if Stroud in the offense could be okay, they're the best team in the AFC.
This Texans team reminds me of...
They might be Super Bowl caliber just because of the defense.
Stroud just needs to be solid, and they can win the Super Bowl.
They remind me of this is a little dramatic, but 06 Bears but Rex Grossman was the quarterback. They're not as good as the 2000 Ravens defense, but like Trent Dilfer's the quarterback. The Bucks with the John Gruden, but it's like Brad Johnson's the quarterback. I know that's a little different, but
this is the year to have a defense drag you to the Super Bowl.
Yes, and it does. They do feel like one of those all-time defenses where the offense is just kind of ebbs and flows. And Stroud felt like he was doing Mahomes cosplay at points where he was doing dumb things that then were working out, but he was like just off. But like a 3rd and 17, he's making happen. He was scrambling out of field goal range and getting them back in. I don't know, but
I don't know what the Texans were doing offensively in terms of like what the game plan was, but it felt like for the entire third quarter, the only play they did was they snapped the ball. Stroud backs up as fast as he can and then throws the ball at the foot of some like offensive lineman. And it's like that was their offense for like a solid like hour.
If I had told you one of these teams is down 4 offensive linemen, you probably would have thought it was the Texans. Okay, anything else in Chiefs Texans before we get into the rest of the games here?
Excruciating game.
Unbelievable. Okay, let's get to winners and losers here. Craig, I want to start with you. Winners, losers, week 14.
This might sound counterintuitive, but my winner is the Chicago Bears. Obviously, the Packers won the game. I think the Packers are a really good team. They are clearly a winner of the day and in pole position to win their division. However, I wrote down while this game was tied, or actually it was while the Bears were down 7 and they were about to begin their final drive that ended in the Caleb pick. I wrote down, I don't care what happens in this game. The Bears are a winner because And it was an intrusive thought that I was thinking about as I was watching the game, and it kind of blossomed into like, you know what, I'm just going to throw it in winners and defend it. I just think this team is clearly going to be one of the best teams of the next 5 years. And like, I think Caleb is going to be a star, and I think Caleb is really going to work with Ben Johnson. And I think already what we've seen in only 14 weeks is impressive enough, and the roster is good enough. And Caleb brings that spark and can do things like when he's rolling out that nobody else can do. And with Ben Johnson's play calling, I do not think this team is that far away from being really fucking good. They were on the road in Green Bay. They lost by 7. They were 1 play away from tying the game and going to overtime. It was 7 degrees. This is a playoff game. I mean, this is like as difficult as it gets. They had drives in this game, the Bears, of 17. They had a 17-play drive, a 14-play drive, a 10-play drive. And more first downs than the Packers in this game. I thought this was a really, really impressive performance. And again, they were down the entire game. And Caleb kept putting together these long, sustained drives coming back. He was not good in the first quarter, and I thought he got better every single quarter. And I'm just like fully buying in, and I would like to invest in Chicago right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think Caleb Williams had like 35 yards at halftime. I mean, the second half, he absolutely came alive and kept the Bears in it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, tons of credit to the Packers for winning that. It was I thought, couple things for the Packers. Christian Watson, he's really, really good, man. He looked awesome. He just brings this explosive element to their team that they were desperately needing. I thought Jaden Reed being back was huge for them. Overall, good win for the Packers. But I agree with Craig. I think it does feel like this is because you know how there's always those flash in the pan teams that get to like 8-3, 8-4, whatever, but they're just like they haven't beat anybody and they're not actually any good.
This was their prove it game.
Yeah.
Show me that you belong. Like I think we went into the season.
They fought, yeah.
Yeah, we went into the season thinking the Packers were going to be good. Then they traded for Micah Parsons, and they were a Super Bowl favorite. And the Packers are good, and their defense is a top 5 defense, and they are good, and Jordan Love's playing well. And that's the only reason why I'm not like congratulating them. I'm sure people are going to be mad, like, how are you giving the team that lost the winner award?
Well, you should wait till they get to your loser, who's the Green Bay Packers.
Right. But yeah, it's like the Packers are doing what we expected them to do. The Bears, the expectation was all over the place. And I think this is incredibly impressive, what they've already done. And you can see it. There's a great quote from Josh Jacobs talking about the Bears after the game. He said, you can see what the head coach is preaching. You see how the guys are embodying that. Even on the field, they are straining a little bit more. They are doing a little bit more. You could tell they are believing in what he's preaching. And I think I guess I am too. And I like Caleb misses throws still, and like he still makes boneheaded decisions. But I think like what he can do with his legs right now, I think it's like Josh Allen, Caleb. Number 2 in terms of what you can do with your legs based on what we've been seeing from Lamar this year. And Caleb can make throws with his arm that are Aaron Rodgers-esque. Heifetz, you make that comp. And like he does some shit when he rolls to his right that is really, really impressive. And I think Ben Johnson is like sucking the boneheadedness out of him and turning him into a legitimate quarterback. And you can see it already this early on. And so I feel like they're going to be good.
Yeah, they feel to me like, I mean, obviously anything can happen still because they're probably going to go to the playoffs, but they feel to me like the team that's just like a year away still. You know what I mean? Like this is the beginning of something that could be good for the Bears. But I'm watching that game. I think Colson Loveland is going to be a star, actually. I think what I've seen from him over the last 6 or 7 weeks has been really, really impressive. Like the way they utilize him. I don't know if like the stats have necessarily been like electric or anything like that, but I think he's going to be a really, really good player. You know, if Rome Odunze can ever stay healthy, I think he's going to be a good player. DJ Moore, I think DJ Moore just needs to go to a new team.
DJ Moore's not going to be on the Bears next year. Luther Burden is good, and Luther Burden basically was the number 1 today. Burden, Loveland, and Odunze is a great trio.
I'm just erasing DJ Moore should have caught the touchdown. Like that interception, Caleb had 2 touchdowns on that play. If he had turned to throw the commit earlier, touchdown.
Troy was open. He just floated the pass too much. Like he just missed the throw.
He just missed the throw.
Yeah.
But DJ Moore was open, but the more you watch that play, by the time Caleb was throwing, DJ kind of opened up kind of after he released the ball. That was like a real Twitter opinion to be like DJ Moore was open. I feel like when you're actually in that play, that's a really hard throw to make, to anticipate. But I don't know. We don't have to talk too much about the Bears because they literally lost the game. I was just impressed.
I like this. Like
so Bears lost. Yeah, Packers number 2 seed in the NFC.
No, but
Packers are great, man. I like the Packers.
The Packers are meeting their expectation. They're doing what we wanted out of them, which is impressive. I think the Bears just exceeded our expectations so much, especially in this game.
No, it's true. Caleb is aesthetically Rodgers, and Jordan Love is today. I think was a big Brett Favre game for Jordan Love.
I mean, he had the worst throw of the day.
I'm so mad at. Solak,
but he was great. He was really good today.
Solak posted it exactly what I've been trying to say about Love for like 5 years, or 3 years, I guess, which is Jordan Love doesn't throw that many interceptions, but when he does, they're the stupidest fucking interceptions you've ever seen in your life. Yeah. And Jordan Love did one out of the gate, and then he settled down, and he had, honestly, his touchdowns are just so Brett Favre-y. They're not Rodgers-y necessarily. And Jordan Love just chucking balls downfield.
He was awesome.
Yeah. He was fantastic, and
Josh Jacobs is so good too.
I know. And
Shane Reed back, like they're a team that can win the Super Bowl. Definitely, their defense is fucking awesome.
Since Packers fans are so angry about you talking about the Bears, then I'll shout out the Packers fans. And my loser today is all the referees and all the games and all the committees.
Nightmare day.
The referees, starting with the
Anytime
Packers.
Human beings have to make decisions.
Anyone in charge of adjudicating anything did not do very well this weekend. Packers Bears. I mean, we don't have to get into everything, but I mean, Luther Burden just grabbed Keyshawn Nixon, the Packers cornerback, by the throat like he was Darth Vader, and then Keyshawn Nixon was like, "Get off me!" And then they flew a flag on him. Micah Parsons probably was held 12 times. They probably should have thrown 4 to 5 holding flags, and he didn't get any calls, which was crazy. But you just go down the line. Every game was so bad. The Ravens-Steelers game was like botch job. Like probably maybe the worst refereed game of the entire season was Ravens-Steelers. Yeah. Sunday Night Football, the rarely seen replay assist zooms in and then changes a call. The referees have to get on and be like, replay assist was wrong.
They challenged the replay assist.
They challenged replay assist, which I cannot stress enough, goes to replay assist. Replay assist in New York was like, we changed our minds. Then they threw the red flag and made them watch it again. And they were like, oops, we were wrong. And they had to admit it.
God, this is so ridiculous.
Which is so sad that they had to challenge. But anyway, overall, and not even getting into the college football playoff, which I want to talk about later, but the committee changing. They had Notre Dame and Miami ranked back to back, even though Miami had beat Notre Dame, they had Notre Dame ahead. And they somehow on Tuesday of like 5 days ago were like, yeah, Notre Dame's ahead of Miami. Neither team plays, and then they flip Miami Notre Dame. I don't know what the committees are. I want to talk about Notre Dame. But overall, I just think the referees were just, after not that bad of a season, just everyone was horrible today.
I think I should be the ref of the NFL. I think if it's me on my couch, I get 99% of calls right. I will also diagnose concussions on the spot as well.
I actually think you should be the head ref. I'm going to be the concussion spotter for the NFL. I could do a better job.
Do they not have people that are the concussion spotters? No one has access to actual like game footage.
It feels that way.
Or are they
sometimes.
just like standing on the sidelines?
It is a good
standing they're like standing behind all the 6'5", 300-pound
guys. It's like a 5'7" guy trying to see over
they're
people.
They're like holding onto their shoulder pads, jumping over them.
I dead ass think that's the problem. They give these people, these doctors who probably need glasses, good seats. They need to just not be there. They don't need to be there. No. Just let them watch the goddamn game on television. They would do a better job.
They need to have doctors on the sideline, but then the people at home are watching, and then they call in and say, hey, Rashee Rice, number 4, check him.
We should be able to vote like it's American Idol. It's unbelievable. Like T. Higgins, which, I mean, T. Higgins was the top 5 receiver in fantasy this week, but I'm like, T. Higgins, who had a concussion last week, I don't know how T. Higgins stayed in the game, but it's crazy how much the concussion spotters
there was some report on T. Higgins. It was funny. It was like T. Higgins, who was in and out of the game today with concussion-like symptoms. I'm like, in and out of the game. If he's in and out multiple times, that he has a concussion.
It's snowing. He hits his head on the frozen turf in Buffalo, and I'm like, what is going on? Anyway,
he's like coming out woozy, and then they put him back in. And he comes out woozy, and put him back in.
It's this crazy. Ironically, this is also almost definitely why they banned smelling salts, is because they were like, wait, so we're providing these things that let them go in? No, you got to bring that from home. That's not our thing. Anyway, so yeah, T. Higgins brought his own smelling salts, so it's fine. DK, who's your loser of the day? Week 14.
Gotta go with the Colts. The Colts wagon once again has lost a wheel, tipped over into the river, fording the river, died of dysentery and cholera and all that stuff. I mean, I can't, can you even imagine being a Colts fan right now? This is the worst possible run out I could have actually imagined.
Yeah,
I think at this point.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most devastating seasons in recent memory. Like starting that hot and ending this way is about as bad as it gets. It's worse than just being bad the whole time.
Yeah. Sorry for burying the lead. Daniel Jones tore his Achilles today in the game. And the problem here is obviously this is still a pretty good team, but now they're down to Riley Leonard is going to be their starter. Anthony Richardson is on the injured reserve. He's not coming back. like he's still, I think, having issues with his
He
eye.
is Anthony Richardson. So he was doing that. I know it's funny.
He got injured reserve because he hit himself with a band.
So
Broke a
it's
bone
funny
in his
because that happened, but
face.
Crazy.
it's very serious though, because actually,
Right.
apparently, because he broke his face with a freak band accident. Apparently, they were really worried about his eye, like maybe losing the eye or
Right.
something. So to go to the hospital, he had blur. This happened in October. Stephen Holder at ESPN reported that Anthony Richardson had blurry vision in the eye till like a week and a half ago.
Man.
So like, it's not even whether his face is healed. It's like they don't even know about his vision yet. So
Right.
I don't know if he comes back this season. They can't even use this as a way to see Anthony Richardson play football. But yeah, Riley Leonard, who, I mean, speaking of Notre Dame, couldn't play. He couldn't throw the ball in college last year. Now he's going to run the Colts. This is a disaster. I mean, fantasy, if you have Michael Pittman or Alec Pierce, even Jonathan Taylor in fantasy, this is a
Tyler
catastrophe
Warren?
for you. Tyler Warren going to the playoffs,
He's
disaster.
like the number 1 or number 2 tight end or whatever coming into the league.
He's been slowing down a lot.
He has been,
I have Tyler Warren in it. He's single digit fantasy points 5 of his last 6 games. So he was already slowing down, and it's coming to a stop now.
Yeah.
And if you're a real life Colts fan, I mean, we were
I know.
dubious at best to the trade, but they gave up 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner, which we felt, even if the Colts were a Super Bowl contender, was a hefty, hefty price to pay for a cornerback. And that was assuming Sauce Gardner would be the guy he was 2 or 3 years ago, not this year or last year. Sauce Gardner gets a non-contact calf strain that their word could become an Achilles, and then Daniel Jones tears his Achilles. So then
After breaking his other leg.
After breaking, has a fracture in the other. That's the other biggest loser of the day is Daniel Jones's friends from Duke who made the knee scan with the app. You know, I don't think that went very well. But no, I mean, I think this is the shortest lived all-in period I've ever seen in the NFL. They traded 2 firsts. They got literally Sauce Gardner played partial snaps, so they won. They didn't win 1 game with Sauce Gardner when he played a full game, and then he got hurt. This is and they have no first.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing: the Colts might miss the playoffs.
Oh,
the
for
Colts,
sure.
They're like they're projected to miss.
I mean, the Texans and the Jags are surging. One of those two are going to win the division. The other one's probably going to be the wild card.
The Colts. Have you seen the Colts' next 4 games?
Yeah, the Colts by the way, the Colts lost to the Jags today, 36-19. Their next 4 opponents at the Seahawks, against the 49ers, who are against all odds still really in it and still playing well, against the Jags at home. So that's obviously a big one for them. And then they finish the year at Houston. So good luck, Riley Leonard.
They're probably not going to win a game.
Best of luck to you in all that. It's hard because I could, from the Colts perspective, from the leadership of the organization, from their perspective, I can understand why they're like, if there's any time to go all in, like now is the time. Like our offense is an absolute wagon. You know, we're in a division that's all like up for, we could definitely win this division, blah, blah, blah. Like this is a weird year, no elite teams. I can understand the arithmetic of like going all in and making this Sauce Gardner trade, but truly like can't imagine a worse way that it could have gone down. Like this is like horrific in terms of how it's run out.
Victor's right to spoils, and it's like, you know, if the Rams had done anything other than trading all their first 8 years in a row without a first-round pick, and then they ended up winning a Super Bowl in their home stadium they had just built, any other run out would make fun of them. But the reality is the Colts are now the cautionary tale at quarterback in terms of taking Anthony Richardson, and they're the cautionary tale at the trade deadline now of giving up 2 firsts. This next GM is going to take a risk and spend 2 firsts in a pick in anything, and it's not a
here's
quarterback.
The question: what do they do with Daniel Jones now? Because Daniel Jones might not play next year.
Well,
I mean, he probably will, but like, we've seen what guys coming off of Achilles injuries look like.
Daniel Jones is not going to get surgery on the Achilles for a week. I got to remember when Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles was week 1. When Kirk Cousins was week 5, and he still was iffy last year. They were in their late 30s. Daniel Jones is not getting surgery on that thing for like probably, I don't know, 2 days to maybe 10 days. Like he's getting surgery in mid-December. He's going to get reps in 7 months, 8 months. Like he's also his whole thing is mobility. It's like, you want pocket passer Daniel Jones? Like, no, they have to bring in competition for Richardson next year.
Yeah. I think they'll bring in somebody. I think they'll sign Jones to it because a smaller deal. And
because he's a free agent, by the way.
Yeah. I think they'll bring in somebody who's like bridge, and then have Daniel Jones try to come back and and give Daniel Jones another go. Is my guess.
I think Jones, he probably has to go back to Indianapolis to rehab, or it's too bad. Maybe he goes to Minnesota. I don't know. It's too bad. But overall, the reality is the Colts started 7-1, and then there's a reality they finished 2-7. They're facing 2 of the best defenses in the NFL on the road, and then in the next 4 weeks, the Seahawks defense, which in fantasy, the only player with more fantasy points than the Seahawks defense the last 2 weeks is Josh Allen. That's who they're playing next week. And then the Jaguars, who just
Crazy.
beat them by 17. So the Colts, I'm genuinely sorry for the Colts.
I mean, that Colts loss, I mean, it makes the Chiefs loss even more devastating because the Colts losing out on Daniel Jones now. I'm like, man, if the Chiefs can get by the Texans, they have a real shot to be the wild card now because the AFC South is not, there might only be one team, but the Chiefs still lost. And so now it's Houston's spot to lose.
Crazy. The I Am Become Death Oppenheimer Award for player who went nuclear. I mean, I think it has to be Josh Allen for the Bills. I mean, Josh Allen's a superhero, man. The Bills beat the Bengals 39-34 today. Josh Allen completed 22 of 28 passes, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns. 2 of Josh Allen's 3 touchdowns were just on 4th down, including a laser to Khalil Shakir. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, except that he has a fucking bazooka. Josh Allen ran 9 times for 80 yards, basically. Hit a 40-yard touchdown run that looked like the most effortless goddamn 40-yard touchdown run I've ever seen from a quarterback. He had another run in 3rd and 15 that iced the game. Number 1 quarterback in fantasy today. Number 1 quarterback in fantasy on the season for Josh Allen. He's wearing the hats to the stadium that are the drawings of the kids in the pediatric cancer center in the local hospital in Buffalo. Like, he's just a superhero. I think he is as fun and amazing and pure and just purely lovable to watch, and as a guy, as any NFL player I can remember, honestly.
I agree with you, and I think now, even though they're not going to win their division, I think if the Bills don't make the Super Bowl this year, it will be the most disappointing season in the Josh Allen era. Mahomes is not going to make the goddamn playoffs, so you don't have to worry about losing to Mahomes. Lamar and the Ravens are
Burrow's
terrible.
not going to make the playoffs.
Burrow's not going to make the playoffs.
No Lamar, no Burrow.
No Lamar.
Yeah.
I mean, if they have the top odds of any AFC team,
Can you
to
get
win the
past
Super Bowl
Bo
right
Nix?
now? Like, I mean, if you can't get through Drake May, Bo Nix, CJ Stroud, like the Bills need to make the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
That is a great call, Craig.
Yeah,
I was thinking that
point.
today. You're
Wow.
so right, because I was thinking today, I was like, can Josh Allen win a Super Bowl so we can just skip to the where does he rank among the best quarterbacks
What
ever
is the
conversation?
excuse now? Like, if you have no Mahomes, Lamar, or Burrow, or anybody to get through, and you can't even make the game, that is going to be really bad.
This is the easiest schedule they've had in 5 years too, and you're right, Craig. It was amazing. And also, you are right. They better make it. I can't wait for them to lose to the Texans or whatever in the divisional round. I thought also that Josh Allen in the snow. I haven't checked this. I'm pretty sure that he averages 45 fantasy points.
Yeah,
and
dude.
11
I was
touchdowns
just
a game.
Lieutenant Ronald Spears.
He's a
out
fucking
there
polar
again,
bear.
Ron Spears running through Foy or whatever it was. I mean, he was just, it was incredible.
Can you even imagine? Just forget football. Can you personally imagine running full speed on snow? Actually, letting it loose.
Yeah.
Can you imagine sprinting on stuff? He's so much better than everyone. But the Bengals, I thought this was the most fun game to watch, like purely fun game to watch. Ravens, Steelers,
Burrow
and
looked
stakes,
amazing in this game too, other than 2 just crazy picks.
I know
Like,
the reality of this game is, like, if you kind of watched it, you're like, the Bengals kind of should have won. They were playing better the first 3 quarters. The Bengals were winning and were better.
Joe Burrow had 0. I mean, he hasn't played a lot of games this year, but Joe Burrow had no picks the entire season. And then he had 2 picks in back-to-back plays. That the Bills scored 21 points in 5 minutes of game time. The Bills were down 10, and then Josh Allen has a 40-yard touchdown run. Joe Burrow, who had no picks to that point in the season, has one of the most J.J. McCarthy, Carson Wentz ass-looking picks you'll ever see, where it looked like Joe Burrow, like, it looked like when you do Pop-A-Shot, like he just kind of like tried to just launch it over Christian Benford.
Like
and
he thought about it too much because he's trying to just like lob it over the defender.
That play, I couldn't believe this. So next gen stats, they keep track of win probability. That play that Burrow threw the pick was the biggest swing in win probability for a play outside the 2-minute warning in the entire time they've been measuring win probability. It switched the win probability by 60%.
Wow.
Then he threw a pick on the next goddamn play.
Yes.
That one was
Again.
deflected.
That was just a tip ball that wasn't his fault. But the first one was one of the worst interceptions you'll ever see. And it's like, if that were Max Brosmer, everybody be freaking out. But of course, it's a good quarterback, so you kind of have to forget about it. But it was also it's the double stink when you get tipped and then it's just you versus the defender now, and then you get trampled. It's like the double whammy. It's like punched and kicked.
Which that was Jaden Daniels today, and then he landed on his like bad arm, his bad elbow. He got blocked into bracing himself on his bad arm, and it was like, oh yeah, right. Like, why did you think that might not have happened when he just comes back and plays football?
Burrow's throw to Higgins, Burrow's throw to Chase Brown. I mean, Burrow was playing really well for the most part. Obviously, those picks were backbreaking, but
T. Higgins doing it with one hand, his second touchdown, one hand, while the defender's holding the other one, post concussion for the 3rd time and however many times. It's pretty impressive.
Josh Allen doesn't have a nickname, does he?
No, it's because the 3-syllable guys don't have
Joshy?
nicknames.
Should it be something snow related or like cold weather related? Because it feels like he's the one quarterback who gets better when it's cold and snowy. He needs something.
He's like Derrick Henry.
I don't know if it's like the snow plow or something, but he needs a nickname.
No,
The Plow.
Yeah.
The
Plow?
snow plow.
Email us about nickname ideas for Josh Allen.
Just
DK, who's your
cocaine
Oppenheimer today?
Puka Nacua. I mean, man, not much of a game here, obviously, as the Rams just absolutely boat raced the Cardinals in this game. But Puka Nacua, 7 catches, 162 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He scored 32 points on the day. The wide receiver won. His second touchdown, I believe, was really, really impressive. He just went over the guy, spun in the air, landed, and then basically backpedaled into the end zone. This guy's incredible. He had another really nice one-handed catch earlier in the game too. I mean, it's just like his connection with Matt Stafford is second to none. He is the wide receiver 2 on the season. Just to recap kind of where he is, he's just slightly behind JSN. Jackson Smith and Jigba had 2 touchdowns again today. So obviously these are like the 2 best receivers in fantasy right now, 2 of the best receivers in the NFL. So just wanted to shout out Puka. Not much to talk about from that game, but he looks amazing.
He's the only wide receiver in the league that I would describe as a maniac.
Yeah, 100%. He's an
He's a
absolute
maniac.
Yep. Also a maniac, Michael Wilson for the Cardinals, who has like turned into the greatest receiver of all time since Marvin Harrison has been injured.
It's such a bad look for
Michael Wilson, 142 yards and 2 touchdowns again today.
Dude.
Scored over 30 points in fantasy.
I know it was a lot of garbage time, but Michael Wilson, I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. has 40 catches this year. I believe the 3 games Marvin Harrison Jr. has not played. Michael Wilson has 36 catches in those 3 games.
Dude.
36 catches. Marvin Harrison has 40 on the whole year.
Michael Wilson joins only Jamar Chase and Puka Nacua for players to have 3 games with 10 plus catches this year. And he's basically only had 4 games as like a relevant player.
How high if Jacoby, look, because there's been a bunch of like reports and rumors this week. The Cardinals are going to trade away Kyler Murray, which seems obvious.
If somebody will take him, yeah.
I was going to say.
Somebody will, I think,
I guess.
because there's just not that many quarterbacks in the world. And he's still a starting caliber quarterback, even if he's not as good as everybody kind of thought he was.
Is he? Because
Yes.
Can I actually push back on that for a moment? Where's Jacoby Brissett?
You sure, but someone is going to trade for him.
Jacoby Brissett probably would have been ranked 30th to 32 among starting caliber quarterbacks, right?
Somebody's
35th?
going to talk themselves into trading for
him. They literally put him on IR rather than competing with Jacoby Brissett.
I know. Right. I always joke that he just feels such like a Raider, but I'm like, are the Raiders going to trade for him? I don't know.
Sorry,
somebody will trade for him.
Anyway,
I mean, I don't know. I can't see the future, but I think the scarcity thing will matter. But what I was going to say was, say Jacoby Brissett, because I think he's still under contract next year. He's the starter going into the season next year. Where are we going to rank Michael Wilson in fantasy?
Well, I'll tell you, over the last 5 weeks, he is the wide receiver 4, so I'll probably put him there.
Is he going to be a first round pick?
That's one. We should make that a tattoo right now of just take Michael Wilson in the second round and be like,
he's going to go over Marvin
35th.
Harrison Jr., isn't he?
All right. I think that
people
how could you not?
Their guns. People stick to their guns.
How could you ever take Marvin Harrison Jr. over Michael Wilson?
Is he the next Devontae Adams, where just the first 3 seasons of his career were mediocre, and now he's just going to be incredible?
That's actually not a bad comp, Craig.
That isn't a bad comp. I know a lot of it's garbage time with Michael Wilson, and especially today.
Marvin Harrison has a lot of garbage time too. Why isn't he racking up catches?
That's kind of what I was going to say. Marvin Harrison, again, he's a super average player. He's had a couple drives this season that were good in clutch moments. He's mostly done other shit in garbage time. Michael Wilson, I know that it's a lot of garbage time, but also it's a lot of stats. There's a lot of players that get garbage time. This guy has almost 450 yards in the 3 games without Marvin Harrison.
What it reminds me of is who's the Cowboys receiver from the early
Miles
2000s?
Austin.
He reminds me so much of the Miles Austin's emerge.
Miles Austin was such a frustrating fucking fantasy player to have.
Yeah, but he just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden he was just 300 yards, 250 yards.
Crazy games, Miles Austin.
Insane.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, Michael Wilson thing is unbelievable. Also, got to mention Blake Corum in that same game. Also, was the number 3 running back on the entire day.
Yeah.
While we're talking about Oppenheimer, Blake Corum had 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. Any other Oppenheimers, Craig?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Tony Pollard for the flaccid Oppenheimer Award for the most insignificant fantasy explosion of the year. Tony
How
Pollard.
many people started Tony Pollard today? I wonder.
Email us if you started Tony Pollard. He had 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was the RB2 on the day. Tony Pollard scored 23% of his season-long fantasy points today.
Brutal.
A fourth, basically, of his fantasy points of the season was today.
He probably scored 18% of it on 2 runs.
And this was in a Titans win over the Browns, which now Heifetz vaults your New York Giants to the number 1 pick in the draft right now.
Is it vault or is it more like low? You know what I mean? I feel like it's more like drops.
Ratchets
trap
down.
door.
Sinks?
Yeah.
I don't know, but congrats.
Well, this is the best thing that's happened to the Giants in weeks. But I'm sure
yeah.
they'll find a way to blow the number 1 pick because they always do.
Very likely.
Enough about my team. I want to get to your team, Craig. Steelers, Ravens. But first, the Ringer Fantasy Football Show is brought to you by FanDuel. Football fans, the best way to game day is on FanDuel. FanDuel is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game, and FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT for the Eagles vs. Chargers game tonight, Monday Night Football. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Head to FanDuel.com/RingerFantasy. Play your game. With FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 plus and present in select states, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. It is so over. We're so back.
I think we need to keep track when we do the rewatchables at the end of the year. We have to keep track of who flip-flopped the most.
Yeah.
And it's probably the team I'm about to speak about.
We've already made several montages of Craig flip-flopping on the Steelers. So
this is what it is. This is the Steelers experience, and it's why they're actually easy to bet on, and why we've been we've hit on them so many times this year for Ringer 107, because they're the Costanza team. When everything seems like it's going one way, you just do the opposite, and it's correct. Yeah. They looked terrible last week. They're playing the Ravens. Of course, they're going to beat the Ravens. Everybody wants Mike Tomlin fired, including me. Rodgers is yelling at his teammates. The fans are booing Renegade. This is exactly the time you bet on the Steelers. And of course, they win this game. They beat the Ravens. They take pole position to win the AFC North and make the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. They came out the gate looking great, I have to say. When Rodgers feels good, Rodgers still looks good. And there was a great quote that DK, I would like you to comment on. Rodgers was asked after the game about how successful he was on the move today. He was really good outside the pocket, 100 yards and a touchdown.
He was looking sprightly out there.
He ran in a touchdown,
around.
looked good. First play of the game, 50-yard right in DK Metcalf's lap.
Yeah.
But they asked Rodgers about him on the move today, and he said, "You'll understand this when you're 40. Some days you feel better than others. You wake up, and there's no specific reason why. Today I felt great, maybe because I got such beautiful grass field. But DK,
it's so fucking relatable.
Do you know what that feels like to just wake up and you're like, this is a good day?
Oh, 100%. Sometimes it's completely, once you get to be this age, it's completely hit or miss how tired you are in the morning. You know what I mean? Like you wake up and you get out of bed, you're like, man, I'm so tired today. And then some days you're like, I could conquer the world right now.
Because you guys are basically the same age. Rodgers just turned 42. And I don't know if this
I'm like a year older than Rodgers.
I don't know if this was an NBA Centel thing, but there was Rodgers threw a little birthday party for the receivers, and they brought him a cake and sang to him. I don't know if that was real.
I think that was real. I think so. Yeah.
Which I thought was really
funny. I read the same thing. I don't know.
All his new buddies, Adam Thielen and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. But anyway,
yeah, there's days, Craig, you just wake up and your body hurts for no reason. Like you slept weird.
Yeah,
it's just something that happens, man.
I'm starting to feel that my hangovers are now 2 days, not one.
Yeah,
I'm kind of entering that range. But anyway, Rodgers still looked great. I still think he can make throws that few quarterbacks can make in the league when he's feeling right. And they played a pretty good game today. I wouldn't even say they were dominant, but they played a pretty good game today. And I actually think it's a worse loss for the Ravens than it is a better win for the Steelers.
Well, I think the Steelers and the referees played really well today versus the Ravens.
Yeah, because the league really wants the Steelers to score 7 points in the wild card round. That's what they want.
I don't think it's rigged. I think it's just incompetent.
Yeah, exactly. Never assume malice when there's incompetence. I think this is the most incompetent refs, including the referees who had to review their own call and get challenged twice to look at it again. I think this group was the most incompetent.
Do you want to talk about the most controversial play of the day?
Yes, I think we have to, because here's the reality. The Ravens lost by 5, and the referees cost the Ravens 11 points in this game. Like, the one that's going to get forgotten is the field goal that Chris Boswell hit, and then the Ravens were called for roughing the long snapper, basically, which was just wrong. Like, it was just a wrong call.
Terrible call.
And then I hate when refs like pull some random obscure thing out of their ass just for no reason. God, that drives me insane.
I mean, that cost the Ravens 4 points. Because the Ravens, that was 3 points. The Steelers then got a touchdown on the next play. So that was a 4-point swing. And again, 5-point game. But the Ravens, toward the end, as time was expiring, were around field goal range. So just that one play that's going to get forgotten, the Ravens might have been able to win on a walk-off field goal. But the bigger one, and the one that we have to talk about, is the Isaiah Likely touchdown that was like 2 feet down. And you get a third step. So, DK, 2-part question. Did you think it was a touchdown? And do you know what a catch in the end zone is? Do you know what a catch?
I need to answer the first question first, because I don't know. Like, I think we've gone full circle, because there was a time early in my career where no one knew what a fucking catch was.
Yeah.
It felt like the NFL figured it out a little bit, and then it wasn't like a big deal anymore for a while, like 3 or 4 years. Like, we haven't really talked about like what's a catch for a while. And then this happened, and I'm like, I don't know if that should have been a touchdown or not. You know what I mean? Like, he clearly had 2 feet down and the ball. And you could make the argument him holding the ball out like that is a football move, because he's trying to keep it away from the fucking defender. I think you could make that argument.
DK, however, I couldn't agree more. That was a football move.
It's even in the rule book. If you reach for like a first down, or if you like reach forward, it's technically a football move. However, the way that they've been calling it this year is you have to get that third foot down to be like a movement common to the game or something like that?
I have it here. I have the quote from the NFL Vice President of Instant Replay, Brian Butterworth.
Stop it. No. Butterworth?
It's a real person.
What's his wife, Mrs. Butterworth?
Butterworth, our prices have never been lower.
This guy's wife is Mrs. Butterworth. Just get the fuck out of here.
Oh, God.
He said that Isaiah Likely didn't get a third step down in the end zone to complete the catch before it was ripped out, keeping it from being a completed catch and a touchdown. Here's what I have to ask. I'm Team Ravens, even though I'm a Steelers fan here. If 2 feet is all you need for it to be a legal catch, wouldn't you also only require 2 feet for it to be a completed catch?
Fucking insane.
Why do you need is it 3 feet or 2?
Yeah.
If it's 2 required to catch the ball, why do you need a third to complete the catch?
The problem, I think, is that they apply the rules during the rest of the field in the end zone. The problem is, like, the end zone time stops. You know what I mean? It's like during football, it's the equivalent of 2 feet, and then you need to hold it through the ground, and it's like surviving the ground, all that.
Yes.
But like the problem is in the end zone, does the play continue or not? It's like the moment the ball crosses the goal line, if you have possession, if the play's over. So when does the catch end? But I will say, when you watch the play in full speed,
it looks pretty quick. It looks like he drops it.
Maybe he dropped it.
I think ultimately, I think the conclusion I came to was the call was correct. But I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't know what a catch is anymore.
The flaw
you know what I mean?
is the sport itself, I think, is the issue.
Also, I don't give it, I think the fact that it happened to Isaiah Likely, who literally fumbled the ball into the end zone last year. Can we just ban all Ravens tight ends? I want to talk about another play that happened the next play,
fine. But I think the other reason, though, that we're stuck on this, and this is going to be a big thing, we can't talk about this enough. Maybe the reason we have no faith in this is because they overruled the touchdown and the referee didn't even have his fucking microphone on. So he just stared at the camera with the mic off, and then we don't hear what he's saying. So John Harbaugh loses his mind, and then the announcers are like, what did he say? Which happens sometimes, but he didn't realize the mic was off, and they just never addressed it. And then they took the touchdown off the board. And
I think the other thing that you could argue
we were all confused.
The other thing that you could argue and that could make you mad is if they called it a touchdown on the field and then reversed it, you could make the argument that it wasn't clear and obvious that it wasn't a catch. Is that what happened? They called it a touchdown and then...
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
What a
is
mess.
my
What
whole
a-
thing.
why-
If you gotta
how-
watch it
how
3
is it-
times, it's not clear up.
What's
How is
funny
it that
was
so many. It feels like so many plays where like when the NFL rule makers sit down and make the rules, they're like, okay, what could happen that could make people question what our rules are, and then it happens every fucking week. There's just like the most specific things happen. This guy got it knocked out at step 2 7/8 or whatever. You know what I mean? It was like crazy.
It was Romo Nance, I believe. So CBS. I forget who the booth- Sterator. He came in and said, well, Isaiah likely didn't make a football move. And my question is, if you're in the end zone, what move are you making? You scored. The play is over.
Yeah,
He should have started
move?
celebrating. He should have started doing the fucking Dougie or something.
What football
I think
move
I
do you need to
changed my
make
mind. I
after
think
you
it should have
catch
been
it?
a touchdown.
But
But he held when you hold the ball out like that, that's a football move.
I totally agree, Take It. That is absolutely, and I think it's because it's not a traditional football move because it's not in the field of play. But I agree.
But he's holding the ball away from the defender.
Well, that's where he caught
totally
it,
agree.
though. He kind of caught it, and it stayed there.
He kept it out.
See,
Now,
this is what I'm saying. The most specific thing that no one could
Well,
ever
because-
adjudicate happens every week in the NFL.
Because Heifetz, you're right. Like when I point out, like, well, if 2 kept feet is all you need, then what the fuck? Because there is something to be said about like if you catch the ball in like a millisecond, if your 2 feet are standing on the ground in the end zone, you catch the ball with your 2 hands, and a millisecond after you catch it, somebody hits the ball out of your hands. That's not a catch. So the question is like, how long does it need to be in your hands standing still, where if somebody were to smack it out of your hands, it would be considered a catch? I don't know the answer to that.
the truth is, I
It's
don't
feel.
think
not in
It's
the
like
playbook.
feel.
It's not in the rule book.
the truth is,
Yeah.
if you watch the play at full speed and we didn't have slow-mo, I don't have a problem with the Isaiah Likely thing not being a touchdown. However, the combination of it's about the benefit of the doubt. The referees couldn't turn their mic on to explain it, and then they took it off
You
the
hate
board.
the mic. You're mad about the mic.
Combined with the phantom call that took away the field goal and then gave the Steelers a first down that did not exist, and then the Aaron Rodgers pass that was batted back to him that they just decided that was a catch.
That was the
And
right
then-
call. That was the right call.
I don't.
Rogers' knee
know.
was down, and he had control of the ball.
But
Like,
no, that's the thing. Control the ball. The defender has 2 hands
No,
on the football in that frame.
Rogers had 2 hands on that, while the other defender had like 1 while Rogers' knee was down. And then later on, the second hand of the defender came on. That to me was more clear.
What's the difference between what you just described and the Isaiah Likely play? What the fuck is the difference? You're
Because-
telling me that the millisecond Rogers has the ball and the defender has the ball. The defender has an equal right to the ball.
Well, no, I see.
That plays over and instantly.
I think there's more precedent to that. That usually when the offensive player and the defensive player kind of both catch the ball at the same time, usually the tie goes to the offensive player. And it was Rogers had 2 hands on it,
I think that might be.
But they
and the other
reversed
defender had
it.
1.
I don't know, man. They
Reversed it because the original call on the field was that the Ravens player came away with the ball out of the scrum. But when you saw it, when Rogers' knee was down, he had 2 hands on the ball. He caught it. That was the right call.
Mate, I'm torn. Look.
Harbaugh says
usually,
that he didn't complete the act of falling to the ground.
I'm
That was
usually
the
the
right
ref
call.
apologist
Move.
here. The dirty. I'm usually the
As
ref
he
apologist.
crumbled to the ground.
He crumbled. He did fucking crumble. Usually
What the fuck is he supposed to do? He's
I don't
like
know.
getting tackled by 3 people. He's trying to catch.
Just ang-
He's a 42-year-old
Can we-
man who
let's-
bats his own pass and tries to catch it. Give him fucking credit. That was an
I just-
athletic
he did.
move.
I just-
old man.
That was a super athletic move he did.
please.
They're like, let's give it to
He's
him.
so
He's old.
old.
No,
can we
DK,
just-
Heifetz being like, hey, crumpled to the ground like a bitch. I'm like, he's just 42.
He just
caught the
didn't
ball.
get the ball. I'm like, oh my god, it's so
That's
infuriating.
the right
I just-
call. That one was the right call.
I don't. I
Let's-
overall, I'm usually the ref apologist because the reality is there's 10,000 plays, and anytime you point to one play and you want to try to, if you get 99.9% of the catch rules right in a given year, that's like 2 a week that you're wrong. And if you want to try to rewrite the rules to include the 2 a week, the odds are you're going to get the other. You're going to add plays that are being fucked up, not going to subtract the 2 a week. You're going to have to live with it. Having said that, there was a lot of fucked up calls this week. That's all.
Get away from talking about the refs and we'll talk about how annoying the Ravens tight ends are. Like last week, obviously Isaiah Likely had a touchdown and then he fumbled into the end zone and whatever. And then this week he should have had that touchdown, got it batted away. You know what happened 2 plays later after that play? Lamar Jackson on 4th down from the 8-yard line. It was like a half a broken play because he was kind of like moving around in the pocket, whatever. And then Mark Andrews, seeing that he's in trouble, switches directions and runs back up the end line or whatever, or the goal line, I should say. And if you look at, and Brian Baldinger like broke this down on his Twitter account, but I was like, I noticed it at the moment because like the way that DeAndre Hopkins and Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews are all looking at each other after the play, I was like, something went wrong there. And if you watch the play from the end zone view, DeAndre Hopkins is wide fucking open in the back of the end zone. This would have been the go-ahead touchdown with like 2 minutes left, 2:28. Mark Andrews jumps for it and bats the ball down. Mark Andrews, good God, this is right after they just signed him.
He comes flying in like the bird in front of Randy Johnson's fastball, like getting 100%. In the way.
And then DeAndre
Hopkins like waving his hands in the back of the end zone, wide open.
In the back of the end zone, and I swear to God, for like a full minute, just like holds his hands out like, like just stare, like you just took the ball away from me.
Like Shooter watching Happy's putt go in at the end of the movie, like 100%. Crumbling to his knees.
That's my jacket.
Or Mahomes at the end of Sunday Night Football, just like hands on his face.
With all that said, the Ravens did not play a good game. I thought their game plan was weird. They didn't like run the ball much in the first half, and every time they gave Derrick Henry the ball, he had like 5-6 yards easy. They didn't really commit to that till like the end of the third quarter. They started running him and Lamar more. Every time Lamar ran, he got like 8 yards. They did not call a great game. So I do think the right team won despite all of that shit. Like I thought the Steelers played better in this game.
Mm-hmm. That I agree with. And even though the Steelers kept bleeding guys, how many players did the Steelers lose during this game? It felt like 5 people.
Eccles went down. Yeah.
I agree with that. The Ravens, despite all the calls that fucked them, Ravens fans know like the Ravens didn't play well. And honestly, Ravens aren't a playoff team. Like the Ravens are not a playoff team. The Ravens have looked good 3 times this season. And one was against Miami on a Thursday night football game.
We are set up, by the way, for just a hilarious Steelers-Bills wildcard game where the Steelers are going to be the worst division winner, so they're going to be the 4 seed, and the Bills are going to be the best wildcard team at the 5, and the Bills are going to beat the Steelers by fucking 30 in Pittsburgh. Like, that's actually happening.
No, it's worst case scenario. That this is the one quarterback that Josh Allen has to go against in the playoffs.
What do you mean?
Tomlin's going to win his first playoff game in 10 years. They're going to keep him.
That is actually going to happen. That will be what keeps Tomlin coming back. Like he'll beat Josh Allen in the wild card round, and they'll have to bring Tomlin back and re-sign him. That's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We're so back. I think all the bad quarterbacks in the NFL are back. J.J. McCarthy, Cam Ward, Shadir Sanders, Tyler Shuck, all the bad quarterbacks are pretty great.
The most disparaged quarterbacks in the NFL all played well today.
Anyone we made fun of.
I didn't appreciate you, Heifetz, comparing that Burrow shuffle pass interception to J.J. McCarthy because 9 was dialed in today.
9 was dialed. 9 was pretty dialed, man.
9 made some good throws. I started him in the Ringer League, and he put up 20 points for me.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Dude, the Vikings won 31-0 a week after they lost 26-0, which I don't think it happened since
I think that hasn't happened,
the mid-90s, I think was the last time a team that got shut another team out. McCarthy looked good in the opening script, but beyond that, he just looked. Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings coach, was basically like, all that mechanical stuff I told you, don't worry about it. Like, just forget, just play on time, make decisions. And he did. He was way more decisive. The throws weren't great, but he was decisive, and if he didn't see anything, he just fucking ran. And McCarthy did great. He had 160 yards. He had 3 passing touchdowns. He did run for some firsts, and also Washington had a genuine nightmare game. But then 31-0.
Wait, so the Vikings scored 31 points and J.J. McCarthy played well? That meant that Justin Jefferson had a huge game, right?
I think so. Let's check. What do you? I mean, Justin Jefferson, 3 touchdowns. I bet at least 2 of them went to him, right?
For those of you who don't know, who didn't listen to the preview show, Heifetz and I made a bet that who's going to have more yards, Alec Pierce on the Colts or Justin Jefferson on the Vikings, and the loser dies. And so Justin Jefferson had 11 yards, and I think Alec Pierce had 80.
Yes.
And if you...
I had Alec Pierce.
So Craig dies.
Well, I was going to ask, double or nothing next week? Do you agree to that? You kill me twice.
Now we're talking.
Are you in? How does that
Die
sound?
another day.
Riley Leonard versus Seattle. You know what's funny? I kind of think you will. I'm not going to take it, but I kind of think
You're not going to take it. You're going to kill
me?
Or can you... I'll let you can kill me, resurrect me, kill me again next week. That's how... You want to do that?
We just did that with McCarthy's going to get... He already got resurrected. He's going to get killed again next week.
All right, we'll do double or nothing next week. Dude, if you told me... If going in, Heifetz, if somebody was like, Daniel Jones is going to tear his Achilles and J.J. McCarthy is going to throw 3 touchdowns and they're going to win 31-0, I feel like you would actually bet your life that Justin Jefferson would have more yards than Alec
I
Pierce.
actually, in retrospect, think I could have gotten you to bet like thousands of dollars with me on this game. And I'm like, I've given you...
Which that amount is more valuable than my life, let's be honest.
I know, I'm just saying.
$2,000.
You know what's funny? What would you have done if I'd been like, Alec Pierce, and I'll like give you 60 yards. I'll spot you 60 yards at Alec Pierce.
And you're
Daniel
like,
Jones going to tear his Achilles.
Tears Achilles. And I can guarantee you 3 touchdowns for JJ McCarthy.
Oh my God, 31-0. Yeah, the Justin Jefferson after the game was I love an honest player. He was like, they're not going to get me the ball. I'd rather win than lose.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm happy we won.
I think we all know receivers just desperately want the football at all times.
I think it's perfectly fine to not be
It's a
super
thing.
happy, even if you win, if you have like 0 catches. I think that's fine.
But especially when you're that too for 11 yards.
Player.
People go too hard on that shit. Like, it's okay to like want to perform if you're a good player.
Well, yeah, they should get him the ball. But I will say that the 31-0 was because the Commanders had one of the Colts obviously are the main team that like was erased today. But DK, I feel like Washington also was on a quieter level. Washington was just the end of their season.
Look, we talked about Washington in the offseason going from what they did last year. They won 12 games. They blew the absolute doors off the Lions in the playoffs. They were like one of the most exciting teams, ascending teams in the NFL. Jane Daniels, the sexiest player in fantasy football. And this season and we were talking about like, oh, wait till they have a first place schedule, how different it's going to be or whatever. And it's not even been the schedule. It's like, they're just a fucking terrible team. Like, they're bad. They won 12 games last year. They're 3-10 this year. And I understand that.
And they only had a second place schedule this year, those cowards.
Oh, right. Sorry. You're right. It's like, obviously injuries have been a massive part of that. I totally understand that. That happens.
How could they have seen that coming for the oldest team in the NFL?
Yeah, but it's like, if you look at, it's just like looking back at some of the stuff they did in the offseason, and people like graded their offseason pretty well. They traded for Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil. They drafted Josh Connerly, Trey Amos in the draft. They signed Javon Kinlaw to a big deal.
Not spring chickens, Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil, all those guys.
No. And obviously a good team in the Texans was trying to get rid of Laramie Tunsil. That's kind of a red flag. They brought back Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz. But I think like ultimately, and I think that you could say a lot of those didn't really work out, those moves. But ultimately it's like, just this team is not like, it's not a good team. Jaden Daniels has been hurt. McLaurin's been hurt. Connerly hasn't been very good. Amos got injured.
Well, I think
Kinlaw
Zach Ertz, his
bad.
career might have ended.
Zach Ertz tore his ACL today. He's probably done for his career. Debo's not really been a difference maker. Bobby Wagner over the hill. Jane Daniels came back. He was 9 for 20 before getting hurt.
They resurrected JJ McCarthy's career today on defense. That's how bad the Washington defense is.
It's like a combination of like natural regression, injury regression, Jaden Daniels coming back down to earth, like the fourth down regret. It's just, and then like injury, bad luck.
Yeah.
It's just,
they're cooked.
Stuff. Where does the phrase spring chicken come from? You wanted to breed chickens to be born in the spring for some reason?
I think that's just the natural course of all life.
You don't give birth in the winter.
Yeah.
Because then you die.
But why would that be assigned to chickens specifically for the phrase then?
Spring chickens are young because they were just born.
I know, but why did they pick chicken? If every animal is supposed to be born in the spring, why are they picking chicken for the phrase? Like, there has to be something specific about why chickens need to be born in the spring, right? Or do they just pick, like, why is it
I think that we just
pig?
have a lot of chickens around.
According to the AI overview, it originates from the literal market value of young, tender chicken. I don't like saying young, tender chicken, but young, tender. God, why did they put tender in there, AI?
I have the phrase. The phrase "spring chicken" dates back to 18th, 19th centuries when farmers believed that chickens born in the spring grew more tender. So I'm kind of right. So there is a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, point. I'll give you credit. All right, there you go. You know what? Maybe I won't
2 points for Craig.
Maybe Craig won't die. Maybe that's the last good point I'll ever make.
You'll spare me?
Maybe
because
the
of
last
the spring chicken question.
Craig, that might be the last time you ever prove me right on the show until you die. That's crazy.
Until I die next week, yeah.
The other people who are so back, dude, the Titans, the Shedeur Sanders Cam Ward rivalry was resurrected today. I think if you saw that great video of the pre-draft when Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders were chirping each other, and we thought that they might both be first round picks.
Cam Ward just chirping Shedeur. Really.
It was great. Well, Shedeur was like, I got Gatorade money. And Shedeur was like, good luck not throwing bubble screens in the NFL. If you just went into a coma that day and then you woke up and you just watched this game, you'd be like, wow, these guys, they must be great. You never
future of the league, these two.
Yeah. You never would have thought Tennessee Titans' worst record in the NFL entering today, Shedeur Sanders' 5th round pick. You would have been like, wow, these guys must have gone 1-2 in the draft.
Dude, Shedeur had over 30 fantasy points. Chris Ryan, it's going to be the reason why Chris Ryan makes the Ringer playoff because he started Shedeur Sanders.
Chris Ryan's going to make the Ringer fantasy playoffs, and so is Mal.
Did Mal draft Shedeur?
I think she did, and then she cut him. But
is that right? So is Bill not going to make it?
Oh, Bill's not going to make it. Bill's cooked. Wow. No, Bill. The last place bracket, which we will get into, is going to be you, Bill,
Sean,
Van, and Sean. Yeah,
that's great.
Gonna be the
I hope it's Bill versus Sean in the toilet bowl championship.
The punishments are so disproportionate. It's like you won't have matcha for a week, and then Sean has to wear a headband on a pod and can't explain it. Bill is going to have a jersey of the winner's choosing, and then the winner gets the post from Van's Twitter for like 4 times.
Going to be a delicate situation because one of you two has the best odds to win the league. So one of you two is going to get to decide what Bill wears.
No.
We'll take
so
consultation.
Be careful with that.
We're taking consultation from Sal. Don't you worry.
I'm gonna bequeath my powers to Sal.
That's probably
Sal. Yeah, we're just gonna proxy vote. Sal gets to just decide.
What is it the term when the king steps down?
Abdicate.
Abdicate
the throne. Sal gets the pick. I think we should just change it from winner to Sal gets to decide.
Yeah,
it's so funny. But yeah, Shedeur Sanders, 33 fantasy points today, number 2 quarterback. So I mean, the Titans beat the Browns 31-29. We're gonna get into this, but Shedeur 360 yards and 3 touchdowns passing. Ran for 29.
That's not
360.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about not nothing. CBS had this stat. Rookie quarterbacks in NFL history with 350 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown in game in the Super Bowl era. It's just Joe Burrow and Shedeur Sanders.
Wow.
Are the only rookie quarterbacks to do that.
Love that.
Outside of, let's say, Brock Purdy, who was literally the last pick in the draft, and I think we can all agree is a pretty good quarterback. If Shedeur turns out to be good, is there a better example of nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about?
I can think of one.
Outside of Purdy?
Brady. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Brady. Yeah.
I agree with that, Craig. I think that's absolutely I think for the most part, most of the media is given up on the fact that he's a good player. But prior to the draft, most people had him as a first round / second round guy.
He was a second.
It's weird how.
But then once he dropped, everyone's physically he's completely inept compared to all these other prospects.
Right.
I think the Shedeur thing. He's not as good as I thought Shedeur should be a late first, early second round pick. Part of me wanted Shedeur over Jackson Dart. I'll admit that. Part of me was I think teams viewed him as a high end backup quarterback or a Tyler Shuck, completely different, but a Tyler Shuckish. But then he didn't do any of the combine shit. He didn't work out for them. He didn't throw. He didn't participate in the very basic things. And I think Dion screwed up his draft stock because Dion. You only skip that shit if you're really good and you're going to go as a top 5, top 10 pick and you want to pick and choose and you'll work out for that team privately. Shedeur just wouldn't do it. Shedeur goes into the Ravens interview and says, I don't want to play for you. I don't want to back up Lamar. The Ravens would have taken him earlier. So I think teams looked at it and they're like, this guy's going to be so much media coverage, so much attention. He's a backup quarterback that won't play behind a 2-time MVP. He's too good to sit behind an MVP. And who wants a backup quarterback that won't even work out for us or play? So he fell to the 5th round, and the Browns didn't even want him. The owner, Jimmy Haslam, wanted him. So I've wondered if there's a little truth to the whole is Kevin Stefanski putting him up for success. I thought that was overblown. I thought they didn't want Shedeur to play because they had 4 other quarterbacks. However, today, I did think Stefanski made a mistake. DK. So Shedeur has a great comeback. There's 5.5 minutes left. The Browns are down 14. Shedeur has a great run to cut the lead to 2 touchdowns. And then he has a great throw to Harold Fanning, cuts it down to 2 points. And then after 360 yards, 3 touchdowns, another touchdown run. How did you feel, DK, about the Browns going wildcat and not even have Shedeur on the field for the 2-point conversion?
No, it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. I mean, it's get the ball in the guys that has led you to this point, his hands. You know what I mean? Put the ball in his hands for this moment.
The quarterback should always be the first person to touch the ball on every important play.
It made
what
sense.
Happened on that play, by the way?
Did
Judkins just forget to toss it or what?
Yeah, I think Judkins is a rookie who didn't even practice with the team until 3 months ago.
To do the thing that was part of the play.
Yeah, but you know why? It's because you go on autopilot. It's the difference between panicking and choking. Is panic is you kind of Like you don't think at all, and choking as you're thinking. Like I think Judkins has run to his right. How many times in his life do you think Quinshon Judkins has just like had a ball and had to run to the outside?
Right.
Probably like 10,000. He's never had to fucking chuck it to a receiver running the other way. He wasn't thinking. It was a big moment in the game, and autopilot sets in. He's like, "Oh, I had to throw it," and he just didn't.
Funny
and
thing
he screwed up.
is I think if he makes the pitch, there's a chance that guy scores.
I know.
Yes, it was a good play, and that's the irony is if he just makes the pitch, everyone's like, "Wow, Stefanski, genius."
So you said it was a good play.
Oh yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. You're right.
I think ultimately. Ultimately, you should have put the ball in Shadur's hands after what he was doing in that game. Like that's like a no-brainer.
Unless you have like Max Brosmer, the quarterback should probably touch the ball.
Shadur's first start when they went down on that first drive that he had like weeks ago, and then Judkins then got wildcard in the goal line. That made sense. I'm like, it's his first start. Shadur's barely had reps with the fucking team. That makes sense. When he's having 360 yards, you're thinking too much. Having said that, yeah, the play probably would have worked, which is also kind of funny to think about. Also, Cam Ward played well. I thought Cam Ward, this was his best game, even though, I mean, they barely won, but he completed like half his pass attempts. He only had 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't give a shit. He had some awesome throws. The opening drive, he was 4 for 4 in the opening drive. The touchdown to Ayominor on the first drive was great. They had a touchdown. He had another throw on third down versus pressure that should have been caught. That was not, but it was awesome. The touchdown to Kamir DK later was great. And the best play I saw all day was Cam Ward fucking suplexing Grant Delpit to save, trying to sack him. And he just actually just dunked
shrugged him off. Yeah.
And then he just stood on top of him and threw the ball out of bounds. Yeah. Which was sick. But DK, did you feel like Cam Ward actually was like, oh yeah, that he looks like a number one player you can like build around as a franchise quarterback today?
Yeah, and I felt that way for the last few weeks. We haven't really talked about the Titans all that much just because they're so bad and everything. And the surrounding sporting cast around him is like very young and inexperienced and whatever. And there's just a lot of variables that he would have a hard time putting up like really good numbers and winning games. But I felt that like if you just watch him play, he's flashing the types of things that you want to see from a rookie quarterback. Certainly not been perfect, but overall, I've been very positive about him going forward.
He's also got the worst receivers in the league who drop 1 million passes, and it's a little bit
his
like
top 2 receivers are rookies.
It's a little bit like Pickens on the Steelers, where you're like, God, he makes so many great plays that no one's ever going to see because they're slightly out of bounds. Like Cam Ward has made so many great throws that you'll never hear from again because they were dropped or because they were slightly out of bounds or for whatever reason. But he like his arm talent, you can see it if you actually watch the games. He looks all right at times. He makes a lot of. I mean, he still takes terrible sacks and does dumb shit, but his arm, you could see it.
And they lost themselves the top overall pick.
I know.
For now, that shit always. I hate when people are like, oh, the Giants have the first pick. I'm like, it's
fun.
There's 4 weeks left.
It's fun. That's the only reason why.
They're gonna blow it. It's one game. They could win 2 games to get like the 9th pick.
I mean, the last game of the season, who do the Giants play? Oh no, the Giants play the Raiders on week 17. That's gonna be huge.
Ooh,
fuck. They're gonna win that game.
That's gonna be huge.
They're gonna win. The Raiders. Oh shit. Do we get to them? No, I wanted to. While we're talking about so back, I wanted to mention Tyler Shuck for the Saints. The Saints beat the Bucs 24-20.
God.
Tyler Shuck in the pouring rain completed 13 of 20 passes, 144 yards, had 2 huge third down conversions, which was impressive. And I've made a lot of fun of him. But oh my God, I was not familiar with your game. So much faster than I thought. Tyler Shuck had 2 touchdown runs in this game.
Yeah.
He can scoot a little bit.
He had a 34-yard touchdown run and then a 13-yard run that was really it was a 13-yard sack that he just turned into a 13-yard touchdown run to win the game. And not quite a walk-off, but Tyler Shuck, I mean, he was also top 3 fantasy quarterback today.
Yeah, man. That last drive was every play was completely improbable. I could not believe he made his way down the field and got into the end zone.
I was like rolling like a 1 7 straight times.
That was like my run in New Orleans playing craps.
Exactly.
Right? Oh my God.
How is this still going? The last play, the touchdown run, it actually was 4 guys on the Bucs defensive line were tripping over themselves because they all couldn't believe he hadn't been sacked yet. And they all just knocked each other over because they couldn't believe how easy it was going to be to sack him.
I'm very curious what what the Saints will do this offseason with their quarterback situation. Because I feel like at this point, Shuck is like playing himself into a starting job next year. Unless they have, I don't know, some other option. But yeah, he's been much more impressive than I thought he would be.
I think
credit to him.
Shuck, Shadur, and McCarthy obviously Cam Ward are all going to be the starters entering next season, and they'll probably have to get competition. But certainly the rest of the season, Shedeur is way better than Dylan Gabriel. Tyler Shuck's way better than Spencer Rattler. Like, I think they've all proven enough they're probably going to get a lot of opportunities next year.
DK, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. You are a GM of a new team.
Okay.
You can start your franchise with Tyler Shuck, JJ McCarthy, or Shedeur.
Man. I feel like you asked me this question a lot, and I feel like I change every single time just because it's.
I haven't asked you this specific one.
I know, but like I did like the Shedeur JJ thing a couple weeks ago, I think, or like last week.
And you said Shedeur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After today, I'm like back on McCarthy though. I think
you think you take McCarthy over the other two?
I think so. Yeah.
I think McCarthy, because Tyler Shuck reminds me of Michael Penix, where I don't know if he'll get hurt. The moment he does, I'll feel pretty stupid for taking a 26-year-old who had like 4 season-ending injuries in college with Tyler Shuck. Where even though I think he's probably playing the best of those guys right now, but
But I realize I'm flip-flopping every week.
He'll be a good backup, Tyler Shuck. He'll have a good career.
Shuck is playing well. Shuck
is playing or something like that with who can run.
Yeah.
I think Tyler Shuck, it was impressive. Also, I mean, he outplayed Baker, speaking of which, we're going to have a Baker conversation. In fact,
we should.
It's time for America's favorite segment. Fart or Shart?
Fart or Shart?
Suck ass.
I got absolutely boat race.
Oh, that was so bad.
Scott Hansen is holding his pee.
It's like a fucking cornucopia puked on it.
It's a new one.
Is this a fart or a shart?
It's a shark.
It is a shart. I think this is a shart. I think this is
a loud one.
I think this is like a medical problem.
How long is this?
This is going on forever.
Browns in red. That's like 30 seconds.
That was from Ben.
Oh, I love it. I want a new one every single episode. I said this.
Really intense and good.
That was crazy.
What was it was like that Heifetz that was like.
I think he was doing a hyena laugh.
I think that was my hyena laugh. Yeah,
I was wondering what that was.
All right, DK.
Yo,
Daniel.
What?
Baker Mayfield and Emeka Egbuka.
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield, weeks 1 through 5, they were 4-1. He was the QB5. We were flying high. Baker was an MVP front runner.
Yeah.
That was the first 5 weeks of the season. The last 5 weeks, Baker Mayfield QB20. The Bucs are 1-4. Emeka Egbuka, weeks 1 through 5, was the wide receiver 3, was going to be the rookie of the year, was the star of the fantasy season. All of our predictions were correct. A wide receiver 3 through 5 weeks. The last 5 weeks, he's the wide receiver 40. He dropped the game-tying touchdown today in the fourth quarter, and he is 4th in over the past 5 weeks. He is 4th in target share, and yet is the wide receiver 40. So let me ask you, Baker Mayfield and Emeka Egbuka, fart or shart?
Shart. I still think Emeka Egbuka is going to be a really good player in the NFL. I'm starting to worry about Baker Mayfield.
Oh,
like legitimately.
Crisis of faith.
Yeah. So you did weeks 1 through 5 and then 10 through 14. I kind of broke it down since week 7. So that's the last 7 games for Baker Mayfield. The Bucs have lost 5 out of those 7 games. And in that stretch, so from fantasy point of view, Baker's a QB 27. Like he's been worthless. He's averaged 12 points per game in that stretch in 7 games. But in that stretch, he has 8 touchdowns and 5 picks, 7 turnovers. He is 29th in completion rate. He is dead last in the NFL in yards per attempt, 5.3 yards per attempt in that stretch. Dead last in EPA per dropback in that stretch. His passer rating is 75. Only JJ McCarthy is worse than that passer rating. His success rate, only Shedeur is worse. In that stretch.
Wait, so you're saying the EPA per dropback, Baker's is worse than JJ McCarthy the last 7 weeks?
Yeah. Well, JJ hasn't played as many games, but yes. But it is per dropback.
So,
and his off-target rate is 3rd worst. Like he's been bad basically by any stat. Like not bad, but like maybe the worst quarterback in the NFL over almost 2 months now.
Let me follow up here. So
he was the MVP candidate for a while.
He was, like I said, QB4 or QB5 for the first 5 weeks of the season. I mean, everybody was talking about them to be like the darling for the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So my question, when you say Shart, do you mean for the rest of this year, he's somebody that let's say you got into the playoffs into week 15 and Baker's one of your two quarterbacks, under no circumstances you start Baker Mayfield from here on out? Or are you saying the Shart is actually goes deeper? It actually has gone through the underwear. It is now coming out of the pants a little bit. And you're starting to worry about Baker Mayfield's career as a quarterback.
More the latter.
Interesting. You don't think, the shoulder injury?
I would say it's a crisis of faith more than like I think he's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, because we're watching like the reclamation projects for a long time in the season, and last year we're like, man, these are such great stories. Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, Sam Darnold. And then like halfway through the year, we're like, oh, actually they're kind of
usually
like
you know early on if they're good.
Like Sam Darnold had a good game today, and that's great. But like big picture, I'm like, oh, I actually kind of understand now why these guys were journeyman quarterbacks. I would say with Baker, it's more of a crisis of faith than I actually think he's going to be bad forever. But he's been really bad for the last like 2 months. And that is obviously concerning. His offensive line has been decimated at points. His receivers have been injured and off the field. His running backs, like there's a million reasons why these things have happened. But I just think the contrast of like him being in the MVP discussion for the first like month or two of the season and what he's done over the last 7 weeks is pretty wild.
So you feel like what we're seeing now is closer to real Baker compared to what we were seeing the first 5 weeks when he was an MVP frontrunner? Perhaps.
Probably.
I think I'm going to chalk it up to he's
front-runner.
super hurt and is gritting his way through it.
I completely agree with that,
right.
Craig.
Yeah,
I completely agree. The unsexy answer is everyone around them's hurt and then they're hurt. Baker is very injured, and I know he's only been listed in the injury report a couple times. Like Baker's really fucking hurt, and they're hiding it. And Ibuka also, like the magical. Top
he
three
should have
receiver.
caught that touchdown, and then
He should.
Having this discussion.
It was pouring fucking rain. But like, yes, he should have caught the touchdown. It was absolutely the greatest insight Craig's ever had into football is you can't see rain on the fucking game and you forget about it, even though you know you're raining and it's all they're talking about. You just forget about the rain.
It's a sloppy game.
He should have caught the ball. Having said that, Ibuka's downturn perfectly coincides with a quad injury he had in the end of September, early October. Like he hurt his quad. They wrapped it. He hasn't been the same since. And then Mike Evans got hurt. It's like, I don't think it's that complicated. The Bucs have been decimated means a 1 out of 10. They're not way worse than that. So I just think that they're beat to shit and they'll be fine next year. I actually think Ibuka will be a really good value next year.
However, DK,
that makes me feel better.
Your point is a good one though, that like a lot of the reclamation guys, these guys who the first contract of their career was horrible, it is really hard to actually dig your way out of that to the point where they feel like a quarterback you could win the Super Bowl with. Like Darnold and Daniel Jones and I don't know if Baker, Geno, regardless of how good they came back and were, nobody ever felt like you could win the Super Bowl with them.
Well, it's hard to win the Super Bowl in general. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson have never. I mean, Joe Burrow is the only one who's even come close. So I think that it's not just the Super Bowl to me. I think that the issue the reclamation guys have is we don't stick with them through the adversity. Like Baker has been pretty great in Tampa Bay for a few years, and he's had bad 6 weeks, and we're like, does he suck again? Like,
well,
you know what I mean?
Like
Darnold
it pains me to even say this because I love watching Baker play. But
I'm encouraging you to not worry about Baker. I do want to interrogate you while we're in Fart or Shart that the Seahawks, who won 37-9 today, in the middle of the first quarter, you were like, guys, I'm out on Darnold. And then Darnold proceeded to throw for 3 touchdowns.
That was a fan moment.
It was the Seahawks were losing 7-0. And which was panicking a little bit.
It was concerning.
Well, it was more than just one, like one pick. It's like this has gone on for the last like month and a half or whatever. Like I basically came into this week. I'm like, I just want to see him play a clean game.
It's almost as though you almost can't even enjoy what the Seahawks are doing right now because you're so terrified that they're just going to get destroyed in the playoffs. And Darnold's going to lay an egg.
Pretty much. I mean, but like I will say the game ended up going a lot better after that play. I was very frustrated in the moment. Sam Darnold on... I can't remember the exact context of the play. It was either a 3rd or 4th down. He rolled out. He had a guy he had his running back wide open in the flats. Like he could have just dumped it off to him, got a first down, lived to like play the next play. But no, he did the Sam Darnold thing, tried to fucking throw down the field into like tight coverage. It got batted in the air and intercepted. And I was just like, he just can't not turn the ball over. He's like Jameis Winston. He just can't do it. But I will say he bounced back in the game very well. He had a nice touchdown pass later in the game, I believe, to JSN. He played much cleaner as the game went on. And to like what this is something that I've been talking about with like Seahawks people this last couple of weeks is like the Seahawks desperately needed someone else to step up, not just JSN. Like JSN had a huge game, but the Seahawks got big performance from Rashid Shaheed, who returned a kick return 100 yards for a touchdown. Then he had another couple of big plays. Cooper Kupp scored a touchdown. So like this type of game was what I was looking for. Obviously it's not against like a great team or anything, but like this is the type of game I was looking for.
DK, would you trade every single starter on the Seahawks for Patrick Mahomes?
The Seahawks would destroy the Chiefs if they played tomorrow.
I'm saying, but every single starter is gone.
Would you
trade every single starter?
These questions are impossible.
22 starters for Patrick Mahomes.
I'm on record
it's
saying
him right now.
I'd trade 10 first-round picks in a row for Mahomes.
Well, because my point is, like, the Seahawks are 10-3. They have one of the best defenses in the league. And yet, despite all that, would you get rid of every single one of them for Patrick Mahomes?
Probably.
Yeah, you probably should. It's probably the right move. You probably should.
My gut reaction was like, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I love JSN. It would be really hard to trade JSN.
The only thing you need is all of my players to get Patrick Mahomes?
Sure.
You probably should take that.
Like after JSN, who are you concerned about? I mean,
well, everybody
Walker,
on defense.
Whatever, he's a running back.
The defense is good.
No, I'm saying like who would you be worried about trading away after JSN?
The defense.
The defense.
I thought you said the offense. Everyone on the offense.
All 22 starters.
Oh, no. I don't think I would do that.
Oh, you would not do that?
No, I don't think so.
I think you would.
Maybe. I thought you meant everyone on the offense. I was like, yeah, of course.
No, every starter on the team. You do a phone call right now, and it's like, hey, Patrick Mahomes is on the team tomorrow.
I think these questions are so dumb, though. It's like, I don't know. I should just be a Chiefs fan.
This is what people talk. This is what me and my friends, my whole life with my friends is the questions like
trade
this.
Your entire team for Patrick. Why don't you just switch and be a Chiefs fan?
I mean this seriously. What is the point of life if not to ask questions like that? With your friends?
I agree.
That's like the only
That's a
thing.
Shart from you, DK. That's a Shart.
You're like my mom, DK. Every time I do that, she's like, neither. The answer's
I don't
neither.
get it.
Yeah, I agree with your mom.
I'm like, Mom, would you rather lick a Subway handrail or eat gum off the floor? She's like, neither. I'm like, you can't pick that. That's not if you.
Your mom's right.
If you say neither, you die.
The number of first-round picks I would say no to Mahomes for, I think is 14 seems ridiculous. I think if I offer you
13,
12,
that was good.
If I offer you 12 and you're like, that's not good enough, then I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm fucking hanging.
Craig, if you
12
could
is my max.
would you trade?
Yes. The number does not exist.
Stephen Steph Curry,
Stephen Wardell
for Patrick Mahomes right now.
I trade Steph away from the Warriors to get Mahomes on the Steelers?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. You would trade one player who's like past his prime?
Well, how dare you? You seen him this year?
Did you say that to
great.
Greg's face?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I can't pluck him off of my beloved Warriors. That would ruin everything.
See, that's because that was like where my head kind of went when you asked me, like, I don't have like a huge emotional attachment to most of the offensive players on the Seahawks, but like now I'm kind of starting to really love the defense. I'm like,
I think Craig's relationship to Steph is closer to your son than it is your relationship to the Seahawks players.
I mean, that's fair.
Speaking of which, intrusive thoughts. Did you have any intrusive thoughts today, DK?
Kyle Pitts.
Stop.
Kind of good again.
Stop. Shut up. No, you didn't.
He was good.
Well,
You thought that? How good?
Kind of good. Which is more than I've ever thought.
Cool.
The last
Kinda good.
2 years. Yeah.
Would you trade the entire Seahawks roster for him?
No.
How many Kyle Pittses would you need to trade them for Patrick Mahomes?
Do you think Kyle Pitts would be the best tight end on the Seahawks?
Probably not.
He'd be the third best wide receiver.
No, probably not.
He wouldn't even play at all the sets.
AJ Barner is probably better than Kyle.
Definitely. He's a receiver.
Yeah.
Craig, did you have any intrusive thoughts today?
No, it was a tranquil day.
Yeah. I didn't really have a ton today,
Tranquil.
but I had two on Thursday.
Okay. The Cowboys-Lions game?
We got a great email in about Cowboys-Lions, but I also had an intrusive thought prepping for the week.
Okay.
And also, you see all the standings today. I can't explain this, but I feel confident about it.
Okay.
I think 8-4 is a better record than 9-3.
I don't know what you mean.
It just impresses
Why?
me more. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with my brain.
It impresses you
But
more?
when eight is such a good looking number, man.
Oh, yeah.
4 is so good. 9 sucks. 3, awful. But like you see 9-3, I'm
Mhm.
like, okay. You see 8-4, I'm like, fuck. 8-4 looks sexy.
Well, it's like all of the 17-game season records are gross, and I like
Awful.
all the 16-game.
9-8 is so much worse than 8-8. I know it's a winning
11
record,
and
but 9-8
6
looks
is
awful.
heinous. 10-7, I hate
11
that
and
too.
6 is not a great. No,
11 and
I
6 is
agree with
bad.
that. This is the worst conversation we've ever had.
All right, I have a much better email here from This is a truly phenomenal email. So the Lions-Cowboys games, which we didn't get to, but Jimmy, your game is unbelievable. Someone emailed us into the Lions-Cowboys. This is from Paxton.
P-Bone.
Lynch?
No,
Could be.
could be Paxton Lynch. I don't know.
Prove it's not.
Paxton wrote, a safety should be worth way more than 2 points.
Oh, yeah.
What does way more mean?
Well,
4?
I don't know. But Paxton says, you're telling me that
I
for
don't know.
60% of the field, Brandon Aubrey can kick a field goal for 3 points. But if a defense backs up an offense so close to their goal line and then manages to sack the quarterback into their own end zone, that is only worth 2 points. That doesn't seem right. I have never agreed with a goddamn email someone sent ever. How the fuck is a safety worth less than a field goal?
Should be
That's
worth like
crazy.
5.
Yeah, it should.
I think-
at the very least, it should be worth 3.
You
Yeah.
could argue it's worth more than a touchdown. He said 8 or 10. I think it should be worth. I think 8 or 10. It should be worth more
it's
than
not.
a touchdown.
It can't be worth more than a touchdown because then if you sack a guy and he fumbles and you pick up the ball,
Right.
Yeah,
that's
don't
a
get tackled
touchdown.
in your own zone. I think the answer, though, is 4.
It's not. You can't make something worth more points because it's more rare. It has to be worth less than a touchdown.
I think
because
the
it's
answer
better
is
to get a touchdown. It's better to take the football away from the opponent and score a touchdown.
fair, but I think the answer should be 4. I think a safety should be worth more than a field goal. It should be worth 4
I agree.
points.
I think 4 or 5. Yeah.
There's something. The NFL doesn't like safeties. I feel like they don't like that they exist. The refs are always trying to wiggle out of safeties. If there's a blade of grass that the ball is over, they will not call it a safety. It happened in the fucking Cowboys.
Well, that
game.
is the rule, literally. If there's literally a blade of grass.
But
that's
like,
the
it's
rule.
so clear. It was Dak, right? Who got
Yeah.
sacked?
Yeah.
Did they end up calling it a safety? I can't remember. But they
overturned it.
dude. It's like he like lands 5 feet deep into the end zone, and it's like, yeah, but right when the guy started looking at
first
him,
impact.
he was an inch over the line, maybe.
Right.
So it's not a safety. If that
Craig,
were a
that was
sack
Yeah.
and they had to down the ball where he was, it would be in the end zone.
That was another one of those plays, Craig, where I don't know who it was, Terry or whoever came in and was like, yeah,
McCauley.
that should have definitely been a safety.
Yeah.
And then they like found another angle
I don't
somewhere
know
in the
what it is,
archives.
dude.
I don't know.
The refs they will do anything to not call a safety.
Yeah, it's true. It's weird. The bar for a
refs-
safety is like
I don't think
really
they like
high.
to do the motion.
You think that is because they probably, you know why? They probably have pit stains.
They don't
It's
like
such
to
an
do the
ick.
motion.
It's like kind of
It
a
is.
turnoff, probably.
Yeah, it's
That's
embarrassing.
funny.
Yeah, I'd like that's the Hinge profile photo of like you at your job. I
No,
don't know.
that's it's too humiliating. You can't do it.
What are the other really bad motions that the refs have to do?
Carlos is big on this. He has one. Carlos, get in here. You have one you said is really bad.
I don't remember what it's for, but my favorite one is the one where they put their hands on their head
Oh yeah,
and it's like the surrender cobra thing.
it's so
That's a good
vulnerable.
one. You could argue that's the best one.
That one's great. I'm gonna look that up. Loss of down. It's loss of
Yeah,
down.
lots of down. It's
It's just
ridiculous.
You know which one?
exposing yourself.
The one that always makes me
It's like
laugh
the pumps
is
that
like
keep feel.
when they're out of bounds, the refs have to like do this big, like dramatic, like swing of the arms. He's like, no, they're out. They're out.
It's like waving a plane in,
They're out.
sending a guy home. Yeah.
It's so
way out of bounds.
It's also so funny anytime they have to throw something that's not the flag and they have to throw, like, there's like a contact or something, they have to throw their little card at the spot.
Oh yeah.
I
I
love
love
that,
that.
like,
Like if
when
there's
they
like
gotta
a
take off
if
the
there's
hat.
if there's
Yeah,
a
the hat.
fumble on a play where a guy goes out of bounds and then comes back in, they gotta like they're like fumbling for their keys trying to get it to the lock. You know, like they're like take it. They're like, oh god, take off my hat,
Dude,
throwing my
Throwing your hat.
beanbag.
There's no amount of money that you could pay me to be a ref.
No, it's the worst.
I
job
would
in
never
the
do
world.
it. I don't care. And I know I don't. Heifetz, how much does it pay? Do you know? Is it like 500?
It used to be 125 like 15 years ago. So I think now it's like 200. But they're all lawyers. They're all
Yeah, yeah,
successful
yeah.
lawyers. Like they
That's
all.
a
They
little
They
all
do
lower
this
than
for
it sh-
fun.
200 is not high enough, I think. Right?
Well, that's why they did a lockout.
Well, they should have full-time refs.
Well, they don't want, the NFL doesn't want them to.
Yeah,
They-
I know, but I want them.
They make
to.
$205,000. The NFL doesn't want them to because then they'd have to pay them money. and benefits, and also they'd rather all the refs be really, really wealthy lawyers so that they don't actually need to accept bribes or whatever. They'd rather all the refs actually quietly be really athletic millionaires.
But if you pay them really well, then they wouldn't accept bribes.
Yeah, but the NFL doesn't want to do that. You think the NFL wants to pay them?
That's fair. Okay.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely, Craig. I don't know.
The NFL literally had a lockout with the fucking referees, and they replaced all of them.
Oh, I forgot about the replacement refs.
Remember the South Park episode about that?
It's fucking unbelievable.
Was that during COVID?
Mary?
No, God, no, that was like 2012.
Jesus Christ.
2014? It's the last time the Chiefs didn't make the playoffs. Coincidence? I actually don't know if that year lines up.
Also, the Chiefs were not a famous team then.
It was 2012.
They weren't a famous team.
They weren't.
I like the word famous. They're not famous.
Ick of the week.
This is funny because I feel like I've been a Mike Gesicki defender for most of his career. I'm always like, he's better than people think he is. He like has all these big games. Can he please just not celebrate like he won the Super Bowl after every single time he catches the football? Every single play he makes.
Too happy.
He's getting up, doing some dance, doing some like choreographed thing, the gritty, like act like you've been there when you catch like a 6-yard play on third down.
Every time I see Mike Gesicki, I'm like, your body doesn't look right to me. It's too
it's all gangly.
Yeah, I'm like, you're a tight end. Like, what are you?
He's like a 13-year-old.
Looks like Bo Burnham out there. I'm like, what are you? How are you good? But you are.
Yeah, it is bizarre.
I think the whitest thing about me is that when Mike Gesicki does the gritty and everyone makes fun of me, I'm like, it looks fine to me.
Yeah, that is.
I agree.
Mike Gesicki's gritty's fine. I don't really get what the criticism is.
His gritty is not an ick to me.
Yeah, it's
fine.
Not
the fact that he is relatively good at the gritty. It's that he just celebrates like he won this. It's like, in basketball. Have you guys seen basketball?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Where they're talking about just guys celebrating and choreograph everything. I just have visions of basketball every time Mike Gesicki catches a pass.
Fireworks going off and shit.
I'm like, Jesus, man. Just
there's so
hand the ball
few
to the ref.
catches. He never knows what's going to happen again.
I'm not like, most of the time I'm like, I think people should be able to celebrate. Like, I think it's ridiculous when the NFL fines people or calls penalties on celebrations. Like, I think the joy of the game, but just with Mike Gesicki in particular, I'm like, calm down.
I feel that way about
Stop
Bryce
it.
Young. I'm like, smile less, Bryce. Smile less.
Yeah.
This is
just a little.
We're gladiators out here, all right? Smile less.
My ick of the week was, this is not even close. It's Notre Dame crashing out because they didn't make the college football playoff. I
didn't know you could do that.
They threw a tantrum.
I didn't know you could say, like, we're withdrawing our name from the bowl games. We don't want to play.
I am so embarrassed for everybody involved. I am so embarrassed for all of these people, everyone involved who made this decision. So just to take a step back, so the college football playoff, they have the 12-team field now. Notre Dame did not get in. And this was a little controversial because, Miami got in, Alabama got in, Tulane got in, James Madison got in. We can go into all that. I get why Notre Dame's mad. And just to go through it, basically, it's kind of really simple. It was a weird process, but the right decision because Miami and Notre Dame it was like Notre Dame was ahead of Miami for like the whole time.
None of this even matters though. The point is like, regardless, if you don't make it, don't be a little bitch and opt out of playing in a bowl game.
Exactly. You know what? We're going to show you that we could have won a national championship.
We're taking our ball and going home.
We're just not going to play ever again.
Yeah.
We'll show you. I'm like, go fucking home. No one cares. You're not even in a conference. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
it's so embarrassing.
Wiping just grabbing the Monopoly board and just throwing it on the ground.
I would have won though. Shut up, nerd. Oh my God. It's like all these teams that have lost, like the big law school colleges are always Michigan when they fucking get accused of the cheating or whatever. They're like, shut the fuck up. Oh my God. It's so annoying. And on top of that, there's a person who posted, I don't know who this person is. His name's Graham Coffey, who I guess covers Georgia, and he fucking nailed it. Because 2 years ago was a crazy thing, which was the last year of the 14 playoff. And it was when Michigan was undefeated, Washington was undefeated, Texas won Texas was a one-loss team, all this stuff. And he was like, Georgia had won 29 straight games, and they lost the SEC championship by 3 points to Alabama and was kind of controversial in the SEC title. And Georgia dropped from 1 to 6. And so they didn't win the conference, but they didn't even get close to making it. Like Florida State was ahead of them. And then instead of being like, well, we're just not going to play, they went and played Florida State and they won 63 to fucking 3 in the bowl game. And everyone was like, you know what? We probably should have put Georgia in. They're probably the best team. And you know what? They probably could have beat Michigan that year, but they didn't make it.
And that compounds. That helps the next year. You think about stuff like that. That stuff lives in your mind, the committee's mind, things like that. It's super lame.
100%.
Yeah, you're turning down money. Like you get paid to play in bowl games.
So this Graham Coffee guy who covers Georgia put my thoughts better than I could have. And he said, how you do anything is how you do everything. If your core program traits only matter when things go your way, they don't matter at all. Notre Dame just told their players it's okay to quit when things don't go your way. I think that'll have negative consequences on the immediate future of their program. I totally agree. It is crazy to be like, well, we didn't get our way. It's like, you know what? Back in my day, if you wanted to win a championship, you didn't start fucking 0-2. And then also, they're not even bitching about they're not even saying we should have gotten in over Miami because they lost head-to-head to Miami. They're like, well, why did you wait to tell us till the end? Yeah, they should have told you, but you also fucking knew. It's so embarrassing to just not play.
In an unrelated note, I'm opting out of the toilet bowl of the Ringer League. I'm not. I don't agree with this.
Because of the rule that you made.
I don't agree with that.
If any NFL team was going to do this, who would it be? I don't know what the context is.
Oh, that's a good question.
They didn't like their seeding. They didn't want to play on Wild Card Weekend.
Is it the Eagles?
NFL team would just be like
Philly? I don't know. Sirianni?
Philly, like we're disrespected.
That's a great question. Who was the most opposed to the tush push?
The Packers?
Yeah, the Packers not having an owner is kind of like the Notre Dame not having a conference. They're very powerful and also not powerful at all. It's kind of weird.
I can't remember actually if they were or not, but
I don't know. Let's just say the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders? For some reason, the Patriots came to mind.
Craig, what's your favorite Tom Brady moment today?
Right. So he did Bears Packers. I discovered his crutch word today. It's absolute. It's like when he has nothing to say, it's like the Snickers commercial. You got to chew the Snickers while you're thinking. He just fills in absolute when he's got nothing. Sometimes absolute doesn't even really make sense in the context of what he's saying. He'll be like, it was an absolute collision. And you're like, I guess. Like there was one blown coverage. I think it was one of the Watson touchdowns. And he was like, it was an absolute mix up in coverage. And you're like, yeah, he absolute dot. You can't unhear it now. There's like 15 absolutes a game.
There was one play that made me think of you today. I'm pretty sure there was a play late in the game in the Packers game where Josh Jacobs, he got impacted behind the line of scrimmage, but then broke through 3 tackles and then like picked up a first down, picked up a bunch of extra yards. And the play-by-play caller KB is like calling the play, and then there was just like a moment or two of dead air. And then Brady came in and goes, how did he do that?
How'd you come up with that, Tom? Wow. That's what I'm saying. In these big moments, it's just dead.
But it was like a very distinct pause. And then Brady jumps in. How did he do that?
KB, how did he do that, KB? Dude, also, unfortunately for Tom, his voice goes hoarse at the end of every game. And of course, that's when the game is the most dramatic. So these big plays are happening in the fourth quarter. And he's so hoarse and scratchy. And he's like trying his best to yell through it. It's tough.
A lot of really clutch athletes, their voices are kind of an ick, if we're being honest.
I mean, Mahomes.
Fernando Mendoza in Indiana, they won that game. Indiana's like the worst college football team ever. 150 years they won. They won the Big Ten the first time since World War II. And then Fernando Mendoza goes on. He's like, yeah, we're flipping champions. I'm like, all right,
flipping.
Calm down.
I don't know how we didn't put that in the ick of the week. Flipping.
that was a huge ick. Talking. I was like, I don't want this guy.
I literally, if I'm a GM, I'm like, yeah, I don't think so.
We're flipping champions. Yeah. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, that's not going to cut it.
If you watch that interview on mute and just watch his hand movements, it's also kind of an ick.
It was a massive ick. It was such an ick. I want to see him talk to CJ Gardner-Johnson or something.
Yeah. It's just not going to work. I don't know. I don't know. That guy can't be in the NFL. Like, what is he going to say to like Myles Garrett? How's that going to work?
I was like, oh, these are why the Kirk Cousins comps. Got it. Okay.
Literally, yeah. That's why.
You like that? The Lucille Bluth, I don't understand the stat line. I won't respond to it a word. I mean, this wasn't even a stat, it's just the headline. It was just like #1 quarterback, an overall high school recruit in America, decommits from Georgia, will attend Vanderbilt. And I kind of was like, whoa. I was like, whoa. What? I knew that, well, he's from Nashville, which is one thing, but I knew that all the rules and everything was different now.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't mean it's not weird to see.
I totally agree. That stuff never sits right.
Just odd. Oh, the #1 recruit in America is going to go to Vanderbilt. He's like, I want to be part of what we're building here. I was like, oh, cool. Okay.
It's like
for a year.
It's weird.
Yeah. The BYU guy, the guy on the AJ.
The Duke player who went to BYU. That's a perfect example.
I can never say his last name. It's
like,
DeBansa, AJ DeBansa. Yeah, he's just like on BYU. He's like the best player in college basketball. I'm like, what the
bizarre. Fuck? It makes me feel old because I feel like
he's
no
not
longer
Mormon.
recognize.
I'm like,
this
what
world.
is this?
It's crazy. All right, 2 players who outscored Justin Jefferson this week in a lie.
Oh God.
All right, Dylan Drummond.
I don't know who that is.
I literally have never heard of this man.
Isaiah Williams.
Jets?
Hunter Yurachek.
That's a baseball player from the 60s.
Dylan Drummond, Isaiah Williams, Hunter Yurachek. Two of these people.
I don't know what
Justin
team
Jefferson.
Dylan Drummond or Hunter Yurachek are on.
All right, give you a hint. One of these people is the head of the college football playoff committee.
Okay.
And 2 of them outscored Justin Jefferson this week. Dylan Drummond, Isaiah Williams, and Hunter Yurachek.
I'm going to say Hunter Yurachek is the head of the committee, is my guess.
DK, do you agree?
I was thinking Yurachek sounds like some 3rd string tight end. So I'm going to go with that.
Craig is correct. Hunter Yurachek's the head of the college football playoff committee. Dylan Drummond is some dude on the Falcons who outscored Justin Jefferson.
Dylan Drummond?
Dylan Drummond outscored Justin Jefferson today in fantasy. Justin Jefferson, who was top 5 in receiving yards in the first 9 weeks of the season. Justin Jefferson now is behind John Mechie in receiving yards the last 4 weeks.
Cripes.
That's not great.
Dylan Drummond played for Eastern Michigan.
Dude, the other guy, the UNC guy who's also on the NCAA basketball committee, Bubba Cunningham. That one always
Bubba Cunningham. Well, at least
he's the
UNC.
AD of North Carolina.
Yeah.
But he's also the chairman of the NCAA tournament selection committee. And UNC was on the bubble last year, and shocker, they made it.
That's crazy. Quite the year for Bubba.
True.
The Belichick thing, maybe those ball don't lie.
Bubba's got his hands full.
Heifetz, Hunter Yurachek went to Richmond.
Oh.
Did he really? Oh, probably blew
go.
that one for myself. Oops.
You buried the lead, I guess, by doing this, or you spoiled it. Justin Jefferson has to be the burn book. We gave it to Roma Dunze last week. Has to be Justin Jefferson.
No, I think we burned Justin Jefferson last week.
Oh, was Roma Dunze the week before that?
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, look, we talked about Baker and Emeka Ibuka. One of those could be on it.
I think, so we burned Justin Jefferson last week. I'm almost positive. Yeah, we did. 13. So, yeah, because Roma Dunze was week 12. Justin Jefferson's week 13. Lamar did well today, so Lamar's off. Ibuka, I will just say, so Emeka Ibuka, which is a little controversial because he was so good for you.
No, it's him. He's had double-digit points once since week 6. If you want to do the Waddle model, 1 game since week 6, he has exceeded the Waddle model once.
Man.
And you've played him like every time. I don't think
week
you've
14.
had the chutzpah to bench Emeka Ibuka. But
you have to start him because if he's on your team because he got you this far.
Like the crazy thing about fantasy is, let's say, like maybe he was so good for you in the beginning. Let's just say you started 2-3 or 3-2, even though you had Emeka Ibuka. Since that, like if you didn't win, if you just randomly were 2-3 to start and you had Emeka Ibuka and you didn't take advantage of it, he's probably been a net negative on your season. Because if you didn't win in that stretch, he certainly hasn't helped you since then.
Dude, here since week 6, 3, 7, 5, 20, 6, 5, 6, 4, 6, 2. I mean, he's like Pat Fryermuth.
Oh.
When you put it like that, are we going to do it? We're going to burn Emeka Ibuka? That's crazy.
We have to. It's worse than I thought, to be honest.
So I'm gonna just plug in right now since week 6. Where does he rank? And I'm gonna do total point. Yeah, he's behind Jaden Higgins. He's behind Tez Johnson. And Keyshawn Booty and Parker Washington and Romeo Doubs. How many waiver ads? He's behind Kamir DK on the Titans. Oh my God, yeah. We got it. He's behind DJ Moore, which is shocking. People hate DJ Moore.
I'm so sick
Jacoby Myers. Oh my God. Yeah, I think we got it. That's crazy. Woof. All right, yeah, fuck it. But yeah, he has one more point.
That
than,
is actually
eye-opening.
I did not realize how bad he's been.
Ibuka has 2 more points since Mac Hollins since week 6.
Ugh.
All right, yeah, Emeka. Are we gonna burn him though? No, I think we have to. That's crazy.
We're doing it.
All right, Emeka Ibuka, you're in the burn book. I actually am really sad about that. That makes me upset.
Yeah, that's
Pat Fryermuth has outscored him since week 6.
Okay,
yeah, serious?
Fuck that. Yeah, he's cooked. All right, Ibuka, you're in the burn book.
In one less game, but whatever.
It's the spirit. All right. That's all we got. Thank you, DK. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Kai. Thank you, Ronak. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Email us at ringoffantasyfootball@gmail.com. Send us trivia questions. Send us fantasy courts. Send us emails. Include your breakfasts.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Fitz in the Tantrums.
Oh, I love Fitz in the Tantrums. Nice one.
I'm
your favorite
like
song?
the Bears versus the Packers on these bands. I'm 1 from my last 13.
Oh, I know they have that song like Hands Clap, or I Can Make Your Hands Clap. That's not my favorite song of theirs. They have Money Grabber. Is that
Out of
one?
My League?
Oh yeah, Out of My League's a big one. I like Money Grabber. I think is one of theirs.
Okay.
They're good though. Heifetz, you would like them.
I already don't remember the name of the band. The Tantrums?
Fitz and the Tantrums.
Fitz and the Tantrums. You would know. They're big, like Out of My League, Hand Clap, and The Walker. You would know all those songs.
Okay.
I like bands that have names like that where it's the lead singer and his backup band or her backup band.
Yeah,
I always like
great.
that.
It is a great formula.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
old school.
Heifetz wanted that to be this podcast. It was going to be like Danny Heifetz and the Football Boys, and then we're like
The Football Boys.
The Diaper Boys.
Danny Heifetz and the E Street Band.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, I can't believe Burn Book. The last 4 weeks of the Burn Book are 4 really good NFL players: AJ Brown, Roma Dunze, Justin Jefferson, and Emeka Ibuka.
And we were this. If we had put Lamar in last week, we would be putting Justin Jefferson. It would be almost AJ Brown and Dunze, Justin Jefferson, and Lamar.
Yeah. My God.
Come a long way from when it was Tony Pollard and fucking Bill Merritt.
Bill Merritt.
Shit got real.
Goodbye, everyone. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.